then
Boom.
it
Look at
just
that.
connects just like that. But guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Chillin with Chase. Today, you guys always ask me, Chase, why don't you talk fighting or anything like that? Look, I'm not that knowledgeable about it anymore. So I brought someone else that could help out with that knowledge, that gap that I don't have, but also just to talk wrestling, video games, and just sports in general, anything in general. We got my good friend from a long time. We got Nate. Nate, how's
Hey,
it going,
man.
my friend?
Man, I'm glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me. We go way back, man. I'm talking 2010,
Dude,
like
this is
way back.
12 years. 12 years we've
Long
gone.
time, man. And, there's a lot going on, so much with boxing, with MMA, with wrestling, video games, sports. I feel like you picked the perfect time to bring me up here.
Oh yeah. No, there's a lot. There's a lot. And of course, we got the live chat feature. So if you guys have any questions that are related to the topics we're talking about, just send them in the chat right here. What up to Ronan Ghost? And that's a cool thing, Nate. I don't know if you can see it on your end, but you can see like the chat questions that they pop up. So you can react to anything I react to and stuff. But this past Saturday, we had UFC 272, the grudge match between Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. Now, Nate, I know you watch UFC. Are you like
Mhm.
big into UFC, or is it like one of those things where it's just like I watch it because it relates to combat sports? Like, where's your UFC? Because I know back in the day you used to be heavy with the UFC, but now I don't know like where you at with the UFC like that. So I think my audience also doesn't know where you're at with the UFC. So yeah.
Oh no, I'm always mess with UFC. I love combat sports. Like
Nice.
boxing may be my favorite combat sport, but MMA, I'm always watching. If it's Bellator, PFL,
Okay,
UFC, I'm
nice.
always watching. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a filthy casual now. I'll watch Bellator if I hear the fighters that I like. I'm like, oh, okay, those fools are fighting. Cool, I'll watch it. But for the most part, PFL, unless Calista Shields is fighting or someone that I like that I care about, I ain't wasting my time with PFL like that. Like I'll if I hear Anthony Showtime is on, I'll be like, all right, I'll definitely watch that fight.
Oh,
So,
nah, Anthony Pettis, I'ma always drop what I'm doing to watch him. He's one of my favorite fighters all
oh yeah,
time.
dude,
So yeah.
he can go, man. He's never been in a boring fight. Like that's the one thing
Oh,
about Pettis.
never,
He can.
never.
So, what did you think about this past weekend's main event between Colby Covington and Jorge Gamebred Masvidal? Did it go the way you expected, or was it just something where you're like, you just knew, or did you felt that there was going to be more fireworks because it was a personal beef like that?
Oh, nah, it went exactly how I thought it was gonna
Yeah.
go. I knew they was working us. I mean, they might have a little beef, but like Colby, you know what I'm saying? He'll talk all this shit and then he'll just wrestle and do his thing and win, which he's
Yeah.
supposed to do. You're not supposed to go in there and, act stupid like you don't know how to fight. He did what he was supposed to do to win, but people were expecting fireworks. I knew he wasn't going to fight like that. And, he did what he had to do to win. It wasn't the most exciting fight, but,
Yeah.
I knew he was going to win if it was, legitimate. Like if they was trying to work us and get a rematch, brother, you know.
Yeah, I've been telling people that's pretty much Colby's shtick is that Colby gets you all emotional, all invested, especially for his opponent, and then he just frustrates you because he just wrestles you the whole time and he's on top. And to me, I felt like these two they didn't realize how real it was going to get when they got in the cage. So both men look hesitant to me. This is to be honest, I know everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Colby Covington looked impressive." This was the worst performance I've seen out of Colby Covington in his whole career. He's
I
had
agree with that.
way more impressive beatdowns. Like Damian Maya, he made that man bleed. He made Tyron Woodley like say, "Oh, my rib," like quit. Like he's done more impressive things inside that octagon. Here, like I don't know, it felt like he was just like, "Yo, this is like still my friend," in some like whether you believe it to work or not, it felt like he was holding back a little bit because he kept trying to go for like a neck crank, go for a choke. Like I don't know, like I felt he looked horrible in this fight, in my personal opinion. Like nothing from this fight where I was like, oh, Colby Covington, he looked like he did his thing, but he didn't look as impressed. Like I thought, like honestly, I thought he should have washed George in like 3 rounds, because Masvidal was pretty much done minus that 4th round like punch that he hit, and then other than that, he didn't really do much anyways.
No, I feel you. I agree. Hey, salute to the chat. Everybody in here. I see everybody. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up? Oh my
Yeah.
God. We got our favorite Conor McGregor fan in the building.
we got CPZ. I think this
Yes,
is Ace.
sir.
I think this is Ace's fake account. We got Jinsel Jector. So
That's
yeah, we
Ace
have a
from
bunch
back
of
in the day. Ace the wrestling nut.
yeah. Funny enough,
Wow,
Dave.
wow, wow. Look at that.
Ace is actually coming to California. He's going to be in my room for a video.
Yo, that's what's up, man. I like seeing that. Like, it's not a
Yeah.
lot of people from back in the day still around, so I like to see that. What up, Ace? What up, everybody, man? I hope y'all doing good tonight.
We actually had a GOG reunion minus Mitch Smith for Revolution. We predicted Revolution.
The gurus of greatness. Now we taking it back, man. That was a
Yeah.
time on YouTube that a lot of people don't realize because they wasn't around back then, but it was nothing like it, man.
I tell people,
GOG.
I talk to Ace and I tell him all the time, like the biggest regret with the GOG is that we didn't try to make it like fight for what culture, pretend like have our sources and stuff like that, and like build like a reputation and become like a news site. Like that's my biggest regret because oh man, like we already had we had the charisma already on camera. Now imagine if we like build our sources, build our relationships, and then like we went off. Oh man, we would blow these guys out of the water, in my personal opinion.
We was young back then, you know what I'm saying? We
Yeah,
was
that's
in
true.
our teens. We all 30 now. We pushing 30. So, it's a little different now. But back then we was younger, so we wasn't really looking to do that. But y'all definitely could have did it,
No,
if
yeah,
that
no,
was the
definitely.
mentality.
Someone said Colby just hold him because his stand-up game is trash and Jorge's wrestling defense really needs an overhaul, which is weird. He did good against Kamaru Usman, Jorge Masvidal. Colby was also outboxing him. Masvidal should do money fights at this point. No way he beats any top welterweights, which is true. Like I don't see where.
Nah, I
Oh no,
don't see him beating top welterweights. I don't see that. Nah.
I don't see any. I honestly don't know where he's going to. What's it called? I honestly don't see where he's going to. What's next for Masvidal? Like Covington, I can see where it's like, okay, you either give him the Poirier fight, he goes up to 185 and faces Whitaker,
By the
or
way,
he
I'll pick him to
faces
beat Poirier, and I like Dustin Poirier, but it is what it is, man.
Poirier. My friends and I, we call Poirier the Diamond Gatekeeper. Man, that dude is the best gatekeeper I've ever seen in my life. Like, really fun fighter. Like, I'll go out of my way to watch a Poirier fight, but man, dude, that guy knows how to gatekeep the fit. Like, if you want to know if this guy's a contender, have them fight Dustin Poirier and see how good he is and stuff, man. So,
I think that would actually be a good fight to make, but he's gonna lose. Like it would be sad. As far as Masvidal, I think he should like get a counter fight or something like that, or run it back with Nate Diaz, maybe like fights on that level.
Yeah. Well, I was even suggesting like maybe Masvidal, if he doesn't want to do a weight cut, just do a 185 rematch with Darren Till, and then have that in
That would be
London
fun.
because Darren Till, he needs a win back, and Masvidal needs a win, and Darren Till's still quote unquote young, so that's something that they could do. Like with Covington, the one thing I said too, I don't see why Poirier would take the fight with Covington because he has talked about coming to 170 Poirier, but like, will he won't succeed in this division.
I don't know. He won't. I don't think so. He's not built for that.
Like, why would he take the fight with Covington so he could get embarrassed again? And then later on, he's on a 2-fight skid. Who knows what he does in 155? And then if he gets out wrestled by Covington, no way he's going to beat Islam. No way. Like, maybe he could beat Dariush or maybe RDA. Maybe Poirier's washed. Maybe Poirier just beat a washed Conor McGregor, and people started to believe this hype about Poirier that's not even there.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, thing with Conor. What's funny about Conor? I give him a hard time just because I know it pisses off jogging so much. But like, is he as washed as we say he is, or is he just not hungry no more? You remember what Marvin Hagler said? It's hard to be hungry when you're waking up in silk pajamas. That payday Mayweather. Is he hungry?
I feel like Conor is very like hungry when it comes to Habib, because you can tell like he drops whatever act he's doing and he gets pissed. Like the Irish accent flares up. He's just upset. But I feel like with every other fighter, Conor truly believes that he's better than them and that he doesn't try as hard. And then also too, I think with Conor McGregor, because he's been so inactive, when he does train hard, he's also overtraining. He doesn't realize he's overtraining his body and stuff because like he will do whatever it takes to win. And so, to be honest, I feel like Conor, what he did the first Poirier fight, he totally like underestimated Poirier. He looked at it and said, all right, I'm going to come in, I'm going to knock him out, and then I'm going to go face Habib in like May or something like that. Like he really thought that he was going to get the Habib fight. And then afterwards, like Poirier sparked him, shocked him, and he's like, okay, I gotta take this fight seriously. I gotta go back to my old roots. But then he was forcing his trash talk. He was just forcing everything. He wasn't really like
He didn't believe the
himself.
shit he was saying. You know, he was
Exactly.
trying to
Yeah.
motivate himself. You know, he's
Yeah.
not a self motivator. So,
Mm-mm.
hey,
He
hey,
gets
I see this
motivated by
guy.
other things.
Wow, wow, wow. What's your favorite dinosaurs?
Yeah, what's your? Oh yeah, I was gonna pull that one up afterwards. I believe this is a good old friend, O Homicide O, from back in
Oh,
the day
wow,
too.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. Way back in the day. God,
What
Lee.
what is your? Do you go by the official names? Do you have? Do you know all the official dinosaur names?
I'm gonna be a mark because I love Jurassic Park, so I'm gonna stick to that.
Okay.
It's hard, man, because
Mhm.
I love the T-Rex, but them Velociraptors are smart as hell. Like
Yeah.
I feel like if I was a dinosaur, I want to be a raptor. Because no one
I
wants
re-
to be in Canada and play for the rap. No, let me stop. I'd want to be a raptor, but the T-Rex, is goaded. So I'm gonna go with the T-Rex, but it's like 50-50, man. It's 50-50.
I like the fake dinosaurs they made in Jurassic World, the Dominus Rex. I like that thing. That shit was by Verizon. That thing was crazy. It had like nails and stuff. It looked creepy as hell. I like
Oh, it
that.
did, absolutely.
I like the little I always like the Triceratops. I always thought that was like my favorite dinosaur. It's like it looks like it's like a carnivore, but it just eats leaves and stuff like that. So it's like cool to see such a powerful creature, and all it does is just eat leaves. So definitely the Triceratops.
Now the Triceratops is lit too. I like a lot of dinosaurs, man. Like I really like Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. Like I'm in a minority. I think Fallen Kingdom was like a great movie. A lot of people didn't
Mm.
care for it that much, but
I liked it because I felt it because like instead of a big dinosaur we were worried about a dinosaur that's our size and stuff like that. So that I felt that was a lot more scarier than like the
yeah,
Dominus Rex or the T-Rex, in my personal opinion. Just imagine a smart ass raptor that could like just do anything. Like,
he
oh
was
no.
hunting. Like it felt like a horror movie. Like if people go back
Mhm.
and watch that and look at the cinematography, listen to the score, it feels like Predator or something. Like this thing is hunting
Yeah.
people. Like it's different. See, I love horror movies, so I felt like they was taking a page out of horror. I'm like, wow, like that's crazy.
Yeah, and especially because it's like a creature. Like, how do you stop this thing? Like, we don't know how to stop no Indoraptor or something like that. We don't have to stop it. We don't have to stop this. It can camouflage. Like, what is this? So yeah, I was like, well, I personally like the Jurassic World series. I'm excited for the new one that's coming out, to end the trilogy. I like the Jurassic World series. I know a lot of people aren't fans of it, but I personally like it. Like for what they do. Like, I don't
Exactly.
know
They
what
had
they're
to be a
expecting.
little different.
I don't know. I don't know what they're expecting. Like they're dinosaurs. Like what do you want? The dinosaurs to talk to you or some shit? Like it's not like the dinosaur's gonna sit down and be like pull up some tea and start like drinking it or some shit like
Hey,
that.
maybe in the next trilogy, you never know. Anything can happen these days.
Jogan King wants to know if you watched Batman yet, Nate.
Nah, I didn't watch it yet, but I'm gonna watch it
Mm.
though. I'm a snob when it comes to movies. Like, I want my AMC signature recliners, and when I see that I
Oh,
can't have
okay.
that, I'm gonna wait. So I got my
Yeah.
tickets for tomorrow. I'm gonna see that tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good. Batman's my third favorite hero behind Wolverine and Spider-Man, so I'm
Nice.
excited for it. Can't wait to see it.
Do your AMCs, do they dine in? Like, do you guys have it in your area where they like you can order and they deliver it to you and
Yep,
stuff?
yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's why we being snobs. I'm like, yo, I'm not going to the IMAX to see it and gotta get my own snacks. Now I'm gonna get the recliner chair and let them bring my stuff to me.
I love that. I love the atmosphere of that. It's so nice too. It sucks for some movies because if a movie's really bad, oh, you'll just be falling asleep. That's what helps a little bit too. It's like at least it's
Hey, it's
easy
a
to
little
fall asleep if the
comfort.
movie's bad.
Imagine going to see a bad movie and you uncomfortable sitting on one of
Yeah,
them chairs. Like, nah, at
no,
least I
that's
could
true.
put my feet up and relax a little bit.
Yeah, we have a lot of those type of theater. A lot of the theaters in my area, like so AMC, Regal has a lot of recliners. We have this place called Cineopolis. It's like based out of Mexico, so like the food is really good, but like sometimes like the service can be kind of weird because like
Mm,
the because like people are ordering. So sometimes people will show up late as hell to their movies and they're ordering during the freaking movies and stuff like that. And so it's mad annoying because people are just talking so loud. So that's the only bummer about Cineopolis. But other than that, that's a really good theater that we go to here in California, Cineopolis, and then we have like Cinemark and a couple other theaters too. But Yeah, no, like I almost tempted to see AEW's latest pay-per-view offering in theaters, but there's no recliner, so I didn't go. I was like, man, I ain't gonna
See,
sit
so
in
you
no.
feel me? We could be
Yeah,
snobs. It's
no.
okay.
Well, they added this nice ass feature. Like, I want to be comfortable, and sometimes during a wrestling show, there's one match. Maybe you want to close your eyes a little bit. Like, look, Ty Conti and Jade Cargill, wonderful women, beautiful. Maybe I want to take a nap during that match. Or Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa. After I saw Thunder Rosa have a poo poo face, knowing that she wasn't winning the title, I was like, let me just lean back in my chair a little bit and fall asleep, like close my
But you
eyes and
definitely
stuff.
don't
Like,
want to take a nap when Jade Cargill's on. No, that's must see
no,
TV at all times.
I mean, I was getting tired. I was like, maybe I'll go take a nap. And then I saw Jade Cargill dressed up as Jade from Mortal Kombat, and I said, okay,
See
let
what
me
I'm
stay
saying?
away from this. Yeah, exactly.
That's the
She
best
is
in the
a
game right there. Watch what I tell you.
she is one of the mega stars of AEW. Nate, are you like a huge like what? I know you like AEW more than WWE at this point, but are you like huge into AEW? Are you all in, as the AEW people would call it, or all out?
Mm, they do more things that I like than WWE, but they not perfect. And to be honest with you, I really don't like how a lot of the fans are just batshit insane. Like, a lot of WWE fans could be a little crazy too. You know what I'm saying? But some of these AEW fans, they just be going to the next level. Like, it's a good show sometimes. Enjoy the show. Stop attacking the other fan base. And the other fan base should do the same thing. But, they do a
Mhm.
lot of things that I like, but they do some things I don't like. So I'm not like all in, but I support it. You know what I'm saying? Because I love wrestling and it is what it is. I'm always torturing myself and watch a shitty product, even when I want to turn away from it. I need my fix. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, it's hard. It's hard to
it
turn away
is,
from it.
but I like AEW. I'm not one of those sheep. And it's a lot of hypocritical stuff going on, like the way Meltzer covers it, but he would
Oh
shit
yeah.
on TNA for the same shit. And, it's shit like that make me like, man, y'all some sheep, but we going to respect it because they just put on a hell of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think quite personally their best pay-per-view, in my personal opinion. I'm not really the biggest AEW guy. I think AEW has some flaws. I personally I'm not the big. I got out of my indie wrestling phase. Like I appreciate what the Young Bucks do, but once I see one Young Bucks match, I'm Gucci. I don't need to
Oh,
see
no,
no
I feel you. Yeah,
Young
I
Bucks
feel you on
matches
that.
anymore. Like yes, it's refreshing when they're facing Red Dragon and the Jungle Kids or whatever the frick they're called, Jurassic Express. That's fine. But other than that, it's like if I see Young Bucks versus Best Friends, I'm not watching the match. I'm like I've seen this match a gajillion times in PWG and in Ring of Honor and all these other shows. It's like for me with AEW, I feel like they mess up the one thing a lot, and that's their world championship picture. I feel like the world championship picture is one of the things that they just can't hit for whatever reason.
No, I'm with
Like
you on that. That's their weakness, like the world championship main event scene. Like that's the biggest weakness. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I feel you on the Young Bucks though, but moderation is key, my brother. Like
Oh
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
watch it, tune out for a little while, come back a couple weeks, watch it, and it'll be good every time. But if you watch that every single week, you might get tired of it. You feel me?
Mhm.
So it's like moderation is key here. But yeah, the main event scene, that's something that I'm not really crazy about in AEW. Like, I am not big on Kenny Omega at all. Like, I think he's horrible, but I'm not trying to
What
get
was
heat
your
today.
no, Nate, we're not holding back here. Most of my channel don't like Kenny Omega either. So when was the first exposure you got from Kenny Omega? Were you told to watch one of these 60-minute New Japan matches, or was
Yeah,
it
so
AEW?
one of my mans was always hit me about Kenny Omega when he was in Japan. Yo, you gotta watch this guy. You gotta
Mhm.
watch this guy. Yo, he's so great. And I'm like, cool. I'm gonna eventually see him. We're gonna cross the street. I'm gonna see what he's about. And then I finally got to like see his match. I'm like, that's your king? They're like, this is the guy you've been hyping to be for all these years. He can't cut a promo. He can't like, oh no, like And he's so like Jim Cornette, he's a whole nother character, but he's right about one thing. Like his movements are so herky jerky. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, but I found out he was self-trained. So, you know, hey, he's a pro. I'm a respect him on that level. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
violate him too much, but that's not my cup of tea, Kenny Omega. Not at all.
I literally was all in the chat. Yagon King even says that Omega is overrated. couldn't get into Mega either, says Sean Jector.
See, this is why this
Venom,
chat is popping. See,
yeah.
everybody know what they talking about here. That's what I'm talking about.
Even Degenerate Sharingan, who's like a big time, like he loves the independent style. He even says Omega's overrated and stuff. And Venom Hernandez brings up a good point. Honestly, AEW has failed all champions or all championship. I don't know, like championship wise, I feel like the tag titles they've done okay with, minus like the misstep. Like they gave it to the Lucha Bros when they really should have given it to the Jurassic Express. But
Yeah, let's go up. Yeah, let's go up and read these messages, read these chats in order. See, the man said
we're talking and having a discussion. Sometimes we're gonna miss some messages. Like I'm not the super pro. Like, what do you want me? Which message do you want me to read, Ronan Ghost? I need to know, because that way I can go back or just retype it. Like, we're chatting, we're talking. I was showing up the messages that were pretty much
Get a roll call in here. What's good, Amir? Big Amir, Steven,
yeah.
Hill Steven. I see you, my brother. What's good with you? Huh? Everybody in here. Much love, much love. We get into every message, hopefully. But Chase, you the host. So I'm gonna put the heat on you.
I try. See, Peasy, I try. It's just when we were talking about MMA, then we talked about Jurassic, and then it was like sometimes I miss messages, guys. I'm not the best. I'm not the best with this thing. So sometimes I miss messages, and if we're on a point, I don't want to pull up a message and then it doesn't get brought up and stuff. But yeah, no, I feel Kenny Omega, just like you, man. I don't see anything with him. Like, he seems like the type of guy where it's like, okay, like, he seems like the type of guy where people tell me, oh, I want to see Kenny Omega versus this guy, and then they wrestle, but they have the same exact match that Kenny Omega has with every other guy, where it's just like a bunch of like I always tell people with the Kenny Omega match, at least with the Young Bucks match, if you haven't watched in a while, it's good from start to finish. But with the Kenny Omega match, man, dude, just skip until, if you see the time, if it's 32 minutes, just skip to 26:32, because that's when all the good shit will happen, where he starts doing a bunch of V triggers and all this other junk. And then you'll be
flexes. See, yeah, exactly. What Amir said. Jericho, the only good world champ they had so far. I agree with that. Like, I remember when Jericho got the belt put on him and people was like, he's old. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? It's a new company. They need name recognition. Like, that's the right move. Jericho's obviously the right move to put the belt on. He's been the best world champ they had. Y'all want a hot take? They could put a belt on Sting, but I don't know if they're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Sting, for a month, hear me out, for a month, he could hold the belt like Hollywood Hogan did in 2002, right? He could lose it real quick. It's not about him holding the belt. I know he's in his 60s, but it's about the name recognition. And then when he loses, it's about who gets the belt next. I think that can elevate somebody, because Sting, he's doing his thing in AEW. I'm telling y'all.
And I keep telling people, man, like, everyone's all like, oh, well, this is such great stuff by AEW. Hey, man, Adam Page, he's gonna beat CM Punk. Y'all really think CM Punk is gonna freaking put over Hangman Adam Page clean? Y'all really think that's gonna elevate? No, CM Punk is it. Dude, if I've ever seen someone just Triple H politicking himself to make sure he's in good position, it's CM Punk right now. This guy, here's MJF, who's your young stuff. Like, all these AEW, like, Nate, I don't know how crazy you've seen AEW Twitter, but these guys literally make shit up as they go along, man. And like, they for example, Kenny Omega on his Twitter header, he has like the All Out Twitter header, and everyone's like, do you see that? Kenny Omega has the All Out Twitter header, which has all the people who are AEW champions in the exact same order. Oh, that's long-term storytelling by AEW. Okay, AEW fans, here's long-term storytelling. MJF, Heyman Adam Page, they kicked off your first pay-per-view Double or Nothing inside of that stupid little casino battle royale, and they were the final two. Now imagine if they main evented Double or Nothing 2022 in Vegas at T-Mobile. Nope, we got to give it to CM Punk. And I won't be surprised if CM Punk beats Heyman Page. Like, no offense to Heyman Page, it's just he's just.
I'm about to say, like, me, I'm not a CM Punk guy at all. I know there's a lot of CM Punk fans in here, so I'm gonna be nice. I don't want Jogging King trying to stomp me out, Mir trying to stomp me out. I'm gonna be nice, but it would be better if he did have a belt, though. I'm gonna put you like that. Like, it's better than Hangman Page, right?
Oh yeah.
It's the name recognition, right? Like, I think they need more of that in AEW. Like AEW's getting handed the crown, but yet TNA was doing way bigger things back then, and everybody acted like that's the worst wrestling on the planet. We got to make it make sense. Like, so we need a star to have a belt, in my opinion.
Did you see this right here? Can someone explain to me why CM Punk was mad about a theme song? So were you familiar with CM Punk's ROH stuff or no? Because I really don't care about gatekeeping a theme song that people wouldn't remember.
I knew about the song, but CM Punk was mad because, you know what I'm saying, he drinks Pepsi, bro. That's what happens when you drink Pepsi. You got to drink Coca-Cola, man. So he's already waking up mad every day. You feel me? And besides, then he got to go. And Tony Khan snorting a couple lines, yelling on the mat every night. You know what I'm saying? So he's already angry and pissed off.
That's true, man. That's true.
Jeff Hardy should win the title. I love that. Give that man a gold star. See, now see, this is wrestling. There we go.
Yeah, like I don't know what Sammy Guevara. Like Sammy Guevara doesn't do shit as a TNT champion. Jeff Hardy.
I like Sammy Guevara. I like him a lot.
I do. I like him too, but overall, like character-wise, he needs to work on the microphone. But
I just meant wrestling-wise. I didn't mean character-wise. Yeah.
Yeah. I meant overall
character-wise.
No, wrestling-wise. Oh man, if WWE doesn't play for him when he gets that contract up, they're messing up big time. Rodent Ghost wants to know what's my reaction to the Maya Rice story. I haven't played 2K yet. He's over here spoiling storylines for me. But
I played 2K22. Yeah, I've been on it.
What's your verdict right now? Early verdict.
Early verdict is I'm gonna give it to y'all straight, right? Because I know after 20, a lot of people ain't gonna spend their money, and you know, I get it. Trust me. Out of all the 2K wrestling games, this is the best one as far as gameplay goes. I'm not even gonna talk about the graphics because you know it's PS5. The graphics better look good. I mean, what else are they doing? Like they make such a big deal. It hits different. It looks good. Bitch, it's a PS5. It better look good. What the fuck are we talking about?
It's like the new GTA that's coming out like soon, the enhanced and something. Like, yeah, it better look fucking good. You all keep putting out the same game.
You know what I'm saying? But no, the gameplay is really good. On the controls, I didn't know how I feel about it at first, but I like the controls. Like, I'm surprised at how much fun I had playing some matches. Now, you know, there is flaws. Like, if y'all like what I do, creating characters and stuff like that, there are limitations when it comes to the creation suite, and there's a bunch of bugs right now as far as, you know, trying to put tattoos on people in the server, but it's only day one. So I say it's a step in the right direction. It's better than 20, and I'm having more fun than 19. So that says a lot.
Because like when you say better than 20, I'm like, that doesn't count. Is it better than 2K19?
Yeah.
2K19, that's where, because like that's the last one I truly played. Like, don't get me wrong. I was down bad at the pandemic, and they tricked me. They showed me 2K20 for $19.99, and I said, "Fuck it, I'll buy this."
When it dropped, or like a little bit after that?
No, this was during the pandemic. So the pandemic happened, and then it was the WrestleMania, and so they're like, special WrestleMania price and stuff like that. Because normally the game was like $60. And I was like, I ain't paying $60 for this stupid ass game. And then because it wasn't dropping in price, and then I saw it for $20. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and I'll buy 2K20 for $20. And I got tricked. I played a little bit of the story mode. I said, man, dude, I don't know what people were talking about with the butt. Maybe I played a later version. So I was like, okay. But
because they patched a lot of that shit. I didn't get it either. So I played it like a year after it came out. And it was still a lot of bugs. But the people I knew who played it, like when it came out, they was telling like, yo, you can't do nothing. It's going to crash every single time. I'm like, damn. And y'all bought it? That's tough.
Yeah, no, I bought it and I played a little bit. And then afterwards, like I experienced some bugs. There was when Punk was called Indie Triple H. Yeah, he does remind me of Triple H a lot. Adam Page has been so forgettable as world champion that I forgot he was even holding the title. Really? Oh. Eddie Guerrero takes off Rey Mysterio's mask if he loses the first match in the 2K22 showcase. Isn't the first match the WrestleMania match? He didn't do that. He wasn't planning to do that at WrestleMania. What's this?
They start with the Halloween Havoc match.
Oh, okay. I thought the first match was the WrestleMania 21 match.
Halloween Havoc.
Why are we taking that off? Oh, CPZ saying Sammy's lame as shit. What? You don't like Sammy Guevara? Send Hook. What do you think about Hook, Nate? Do you like Hook?
I mean, he alright, but the way Twitter be going, I'm like, bro, like really? Like, can we let him do something before he start getting all this? This was gonna make people turn against him. Like, I just see that name, Hook. I'm like, this again, like it ain't like Kenny Omega, because that was like years and years of people telling me, but that was another thing. Yo, Hook. And I'm like, really? This your king? But he's all right. He's all right. He's all right.
Yeah, he does his job. Yagan King says Jeff Hardy winning the title and then passing the torch to MJF, Sammy Guevara, or Darby Allin would be the perfect way for him to go out. It'd be cool, but I don't know. Like, Sting should do that. I feel like that's the way. If you want to present Darby as a world champion, you got to have him beat Sting. Like, I feel like that's the feud that will make Darby Allin into a household name, is when Papa Sting finally betrays him and stuff.
Yeah, I like Darby Allin. I think that's a good direction for him too. It would be. I mean, I guess it's sort of like anybody could see that coming, but like that would make him like a household name, like you said. Like that's the way you go, unless you're gonna use Sting for something else.
Yeah, like what else? I mean, I want to see Sting versus CM Punk. I mean, it's the match of the century right there. I mean, AEW All Out. It's not that hard. Sting, CM Punk. Just give me that match and I'll be settled. And then I don't have to.
As long as Sting goes over Phil, I'll take it.
Oh, dude, I'll love that. Can you imagine? Oh man, dude. But I think Punk is going to become champion soon. That's at least my thing. By the way, guys, you keep sending questions. I'll try to get to everything as much as I can in the chat. Honestly, I always thought fans overrated the crap out of Punk even during the summer of Punk. Punk is never good in the ring. I'll just say that. I never thought Punk was some amazing.
I'm sort of scrolling up the comments, so I don't mean to mess up your timing, but yeah. Peasy say Omega works like Flair in terms of his matches. Steven says they need to bring back Sting's TNA theme. I agree. That theme was kick ass. Like, that was a good theme. Real good theme.
They always give him these weird themes. Like the WWE gives him the weird ass theme.
You don't like his WWE theme?
It's okay. Like
I thought it fit him, but it's not what I wanted. You know?
Yeah, I think because like for me, because I didn't watch WCW like that, and when I rewatched WCW, I didn't know if like that was his official Crow theme or not, because like I said, like WWE likes to edit out the music or change the music every so often. So I was
talking about like 2000 when you went back and watched.
Yeah, when I went back
he had
and watched
the Metallica theme.
Yeah, so WWE would edit that out. So I just got the generic ass, like, I don't know. So I always grew up with Sting with the TNA theme. So or Super Sting's theme, because like when I would watch like the Best of Mick Foley DVD and stuff like that, like they would always have like that's how I remember Sting. Like when I saw Sting in TNA, I was like, oh, what? Where's his colorful ass face paint? And stuff. I was confused. But then when I went back, I was like, oh yeah, that's him. So let's see. I bought 2K20 when they patch some of the bugs. It'll crash sometimes. That sucks. But I haven't had any problems with 2K22. That's sad, where that's like the biggest W for 2K. It's like, oh, the game don't crash no more. You got a problem?
It only crashed one time on me. Only once.
Really?
Yeah, only once. Yeah, because I was trying to do something in highlight reel mode, which you can't even preview nothing on there. So they got to patch that shit like right away.
Chase, when you get WWE 2K22, I suggest a challenge for you to win a 1v1 match against Roman Reigns on legendary difficulty to unlock the Acknowledge Me trophy / achievement. Man, I already got that strategy for that. I'll just plug in 2 controllers, Roman Reigns. Y'all think this is hard? There's ways to finesse this system. And then by the time you beat up Roman Reigns, you press the pause button, you put controller number 2 to the middle, and then afterwards you go for the pin.
Oh, by the way, Joggin, I seen that Roy Jones question earlier. We waiting on that. When we get to boxing later, you can't ask nothing, Roy Jones. Look at my name. Y'all must have forgot. Come on now, you know what you're doing. We gonna get to that though.
Well, there's a lot of boxing to talk about, so we're gonna get we're gonna ask some rest. We're gonna answer the rest of these questions, and then I was gonna ask you about some of the boxing stuff. So, are you guys hyped that Stone Cold is returning, especially after WWE uploaded that promo this morning?
You know, I'm gonna say something. This ain't going where you think it's going. I'm gonna give an example, right? I am a huge fan of Steven Seagal and his movies, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day. They were great. Above the Law, Under Siege, Marked for Death. But he's been making movies every single year, and they've been going straight to DVD. And there's some really bad movies because he's so old now that he can't do the fighting stuff that he used to do. You know, Stone Cold had to retire because of all of his injuries. And I feel like unless they're going to let him brawl like he was doing in 02 and not really taking any bumps, I don't like the idea that he might get hurt in this match because it's one thing to be out the ring a couple years. Being out the ring 19 years, that's a long time. And, you know, I just don't want him to get hurt at all because that would be terrible that he left because his neck and then he ends up getting hurt. Not saying that Steen, I'm sorry, Kevin Owens is a bad worker or nothing because he's not. I don't want him to get hurt. But the little kid in me can't wait to see him, you know, toast beers and give it thunder. And I'm real happy for that. I just don't want him to get hurt for real, you know?
Yeah, no, I think Stone Cold, for me, like, I just want to, like, honestly, like someone said it best, just do it the Cena and Undertaker route. Just, you expect it to be a match, but it's just really a glorified squash match. Just give Kevin Owens like a hope spot with the stunner, and that's it.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe some mud hole stomps in the turnbuckle. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some knees in the middle finger. Something light. He could get a little active, but he ain't got to put the tights on and you know, with the vest, he ain't got to go that far. Like, he should not take a flat, you know, bump. Ain't he like 60 now? He's like, what, 58, 57, something like that. He's a little up there.
Like, but he keeps in great shape, though.
No, he is in great shape.
That's the one thing with Steve Austin. A lot of people are like, oh, what's his shape going to be like? I'm like, nah, dude. It's like, when he used to do the podcast, he always be like, I just got done working out this some bitch right here. He'll be talking about his workouts and stuff. I got these PED rats right here and the Poker Skull Ranch.
I tell you this much, though, if he was going to return, he should have did it. You remember when he was doing Tough Enough? Like, that motherfucker, he was in great shape then. 2011, I thought, and I saw him running the ropes. I'm like, oh, nah, Stone Cold look a little different right now. Like, maybe he can return.
I'm just surprised they didn't try to get Austin back when they got Rock back for 28. Like, I figured for at least 28 to, I thought for sure 28 to 31, there was a good chance Steve Austin was going to come back. I mean, we had Undertaker coming, like walking around with one hip. Freaking Sting came into WWE. I was like, okay, where's Steve Austin, man? If Kevin Nash could take a bump at 31, I thought Steve Austin was good to go or something like that, you know? And I what I hate, though, is this. The fans like, oh, so Steve can come back and you're giving him Kevin Owens. Like, I get it. You guys want to see Steve Austin versus Goldberg. You want to see Steve Austin.
Oh God, I hope they like, that's my dream match of all time. Goldberg and Stone Cold. But do we want to see Stone Cold get dropped on his head? Do we want to see that?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Like the thing is, Steve Austin's making his return. Like, I get it, you want his return match to feel big, but if he's making his return, right? And let's just say Steve Austin goes out there, he tells us, this is a one-time deal, all right? I ain't gonna do this anymore after this, all right? He goes out there, he loves the environment. He goes, God damn, I could just do this match and I could do it at Saudi Arabia and get paid a bunch of money. Like, fuck yeah. Like, and Bill Goldberg, we know this guy, Goldberg is Mr. Saudi Arabia. Like, when Goldberg's in Saudi Arabia, he becomes Miami Heat LeBron James. He puts on the best matches possible. Like, the thing is with Steve Austin's return, you're not going to have Steve Austin return against like a Goldberg or Lesnar where you don't know how the match is going to go, or you're going to hurt those two properties right off the bat. You want to build that up to a point where it's like, okay, I got to see this. And as well, especially if, like, you know, they're going to get paid well for it. And I'm sorry, at WrestleManias, the guys don't get paid as well as if they're wrestling at Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is the event where the people get paid. So
that's why a lot of guys have their last matches over there. Yeah, not at Mania. Look at Shawn Michaels, Taker. You know, these guys are having their last matches in Saudi Arabia. Goldberg just did, you know, for all intents and purposes. We don't know if that's really his last match. Didn't Kurt Angle too?
Oh, no. Like if Steve Austin comes back, he gets that itch again. And then he says, you know what? I'm down to do a couple more matches, man. Sign me up. If Saudi Prince is going to be all like, yo, Vince, can we get Stone Cold versus Goldberg? And people will, and as much as people will hate on it, they will flip and watch it because it's one of those. Oh, no,
everybody's going to watch that. Yeah. I say Goldberg is the most must-see wrestler in the world today. And people go like, what the fuck is he talking about? When I say must-see, there's context to this. because he's either going to have a really good match or he's going to hit himself in the head and be bleeding onto the way to the ring and don't know where he's at. So he's going to botch or he's going to stumble over. It's like the car crash. And I love Goldberg. This pains me to say he's one of my favorites of all time. I grew up watching WCW, but still, it's the entertainment aspect to, man, we got to see what Goldberg's going to do. It's either going to be real good or an entertaining disaster. So everybody's going to watch that. And Stone Cold's name, come on.
Yeah. So people who are complaining that he's facing Kevin Owens, it's like, stop. Like, Kevin Owens is the safest guy. He will lose to Austin. He'll make Austin look good. Best guy for him to face. What is the point with Hangman as champ? Tony Khan books utter shit on the show like it's for the world title more than his shit. I don't know.
Tony Khan, I don't know how then again, I know how he got Booker of the Year. You just slip certain publications to payroll and they just boost you up,
I was gonna say it's the cocaine, man. He's so
too. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I remember when I used to watch wrestling DVDs. Now I watch everything on the net, man. I miss the DVDs, and especially when they're like the little cheat codes to see like a weird bonus video of like Mick Foley talking about why he jumped off his roof and stuff.
Chase? So I'm asking you in the chat. What's y'all's favorite wrestling DVD of all time? It don't have to be a WWE release. It don't have to be a pay-per-view. It could be whatever. What's your favorite wrestling DVD?
My favorite one? Man, I like the documentary style. So like I would have to say my all-time favorite would probably be the Rise and Fall of ECW.
That was well done.
That was a good one, but like matches wise, it was actually TNA Best of the Bloodiest Brawls Volume 1. And that had like
that thing.
that one had all these classic matches. Like they had the Barbed Wire Massacre with Sabu and Abyss. They had the Turning Point 2004 cage match. They had just a bunch of really good like bloody matches. Like TNA DVDs the match compilations always were bangers. Like they were always good. Like you were like, oh, okay, you never missed out on a good match when they did that. So that was my favorite match. That was my favorite DVD. So
I tell you, I had two. So I loved watching that Tombstone Undertaker DVD. Like,
oh yeah,
that. Like I loved watching that. I watched that came out over and over.
That came out I don't know how it came out for you, but like my Tombstone Undertaker DVD was like a smaller one, and the discs were all like it was like in a weird position. So like the first disc was by itself, but
then the other two were on top of each other.
Yeah, I didn't like
that. I had
the
same one. Yeah,
I was so afraid because I was like, yo, dude, like I think disc 2 got scratched from disc 3 or something like that because it was like one of those things. I was so afraid to like pull out disc 2 and stuff. But yeah, I know which one you're talking about because that one had all the good matches too.
That Bret Hart Taker, like it was so well done. Then on the other side of things, on the documentary side of things, right? I got something for y'all to check out. I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen it, but try to watch Card Subject to Change. That is a crazy documentary. That's about Trent Acid. Yeah, it was shot, right before he passed, unfortunately. But the whole documentary was about, indie wrestling on the East Coast and all that. Like it was a real crazy documentary. Like I thought Beyond the Mat was like the best one of those, but then that came out. Card Subject to Change. It came out in like 2010. That right there is fire.
Okay, I'll definitely see if we can find that that one online.
My man.
Yeah. Best of the Bloodiest Brawls 2003. I feel like that's a TNA. That's a TNA. What's it called? DVD. I want to say it is. I'm not sure if it is and stuff. All right. So Kakashi says, "What's up?" Ronan Ghost wants to know if we played Supercard mobile trading card game. I used to play Supercard, but not that much anymore.
I never played that, and if Chase is down to play that, I will lay the smacketh down on his candy ass.
Nate, it's so hard to get your friends to match up with you. It's like one of those stupid it's a gotcha game. It's one of those games like I never put money into it, but then I was starting to get my ass kicked, and then they're like, "Oh, you need a boost," and I was like, "Yeah, you know what you need to is go in my trash can because I'm not like my team stinks now." I think Natalia was like my best wrestler in that stupid game. So, Trent Acid was a good guy. So sad. Loved his work on the East Coast indie scene. Yeah, I gotta check that out. That
I'm a
actually sounds
huge
very
Trent
interesting.
Acid fan. Huge Trent Acid fan. Yeah.
I only remember some of his work. I don't remember too much of like Trent Acid stuff. But I like the name. Like I feel like this guy has wrestled Jack Evans once or twice before. Like
Yeah,
that name
man.
sounds familiar.
Tragic story, you know? Real tragic. But he was a good wrestler. Very good. A lot of C because I was in the C, like everybody
Mhm.
was in the ROH. I was in the CZW. So yeah,
Yeah,
so I like that.
CZW for me, I checked it out a little bit. Like, what do you watch any other independent wrestling or like currently or nah?
I watch MLW. I gotta
Okay.
watch it. Like, I like MLW a lot. Actually, I
Hmm.
feel like MLW. I like the hour. You know, I like the power hour when
Yeah.
wrestling shows do the hour and just bunch shit in. Like that was the best times for TNA when they was doing that. I can't do NWA. You know, I can do it once in a while, but I'm sorry when you have guys like Trevor Murdoch as the world champion. I just can't, bro. I fucking can't. Like
Yeah, no, that's not
that's
good.
bad.
Yeah, I know they gave it to Zack Ryder, aka Matt Cardona, but yeah, that's not still I mean it's a little bit of an improvement, but then I see Magnus is challenging him, and I'm like, bro, this guy's been like champion forever. Why is this guy always in the title scene? Like, move on.
When Magnus got that TNA belt, that's what fucking killed TNA. Like that right
Yeah.
there is just, oh God, he's so bad. And not like bad, like, ooh, she bad. No, I'm talking about he's dirt.
It's just not good. I
It's
mean,
easy. I feel you. It's cringe. Cringe.
do you watch GCW at all?
So I fuck with Nick Gage heavy. Like I know
Okay.
it's controversial. A lot of people don't like Nick Gage. Like that right there is some of the greatest entertainment you'll ever see. It's like the car. What does Jim Cornette always say? It's like the two dogs fucking on the road. You know, it's like that. Everybody want to see that. Hey, young
Mhm.
Hollywood, ha ha ha, Hollywood swinging. What's good, my brother? um, you know, we
Mhm.
like that a lot, but I don't watch all their shows at all. But they have a lot of
Mm.
good stuff that I see. I feel like GCW, you know what I'm saying? They could have been real popping in like the 2000s, you know?
Yeah. I feel like GCW, it's like because like here in California, we still have PWG, but it's kind of like a dying brand at this point. Like they lost the lore that people love about PWG. I do agree with you on MLW. I think MLW has like probably like one of the better rosters you'll see. An underrated roster too. I mean, you got Fatu, you got Hammerstone. Like Hammerstone's like one of the best like looking wrestlers I've seen in quite some time. And I'm like, bro, dude, like how did not one company like sign this guy? Like, what is AEW doing? Like, AEW is too busy signing Punk and Brian Danielson. Nah, man, y'all should be signing Fatu and Hammerstone and stuff like that. What are you all
AEW
doing?
got too many cooks in the kitchen, too many, you know, that nah, nah.
What
I'm not gonna
what
cook
what
Tony Khan anymore.
what do you think about the Cody Rhodes situation? I know Cody Rhodes has kind of died down a little bit, but what are your thoughts? Do you think he's going to do something with the new Ring of Honor that they bought, or is it going to be what's it called? He's going back to WWE. I feel like he's going back to WWE. Next week's Monday Night Raw is in Jacksonville. My boy Seth Rollins does not have a match on the card, and I just feel like that's the plan. It's just like, okay, like how funny would it be is that Cody Rhodes returns to the WWE and the place where he went to go rival the WWE in Jacksonville.
I like Cody Rhodes. First of all, I think Cody Rhodes should
Oh,
have been the AEW champion. I know a lot of people don't like Cody Rhodes. He gets
yeah.
booed, but look at the matches he's having. Cause see what it really is. A lot of people don't like his wife. You feel me? So that comes to him, you know. And I get it, but that man was wrestling. He was doing his thing. I thought it was a work at first that he left. I'm like, this bullshit. Bullshit. They working. He'll just be back next week. And I'm like, oh shit, this actually might be real. I don't think he's gonna come back for the ROH thing though, because I feel like that's like beneath him. Like I think he's going back up north, brother. Gonna
I
get
think
that
so too.
star paint and put it on.
You gotta be Stardust again. You want to be a bit of better, pal? You want to face Seth Rollins? You want to be Stardust for this one, pal?
Yeah, he's going back up north. He's going back to Titan Towers, as they used to call it
Yeah,
when we was kids.
I think so too, man. Like, I don't know why people think that like he would go to like book Ring of Honor. Like
No,
Cody Rhodes. I told people about this, but Cody Rhodes to me, he seems like he's an ambitious human being. Like he's one of these people where it's like he has like that fire in his eye where it's like he's never settling. Like even when you think he's relaxing, he's really actually always thinking. He's always like kind of like thinking like what's my next move. And I just feel like with AEW, XWC said it best, but he got cucked out by AEW by Olivier. But I feel like
Kenny Olivier.
yeah, I feel like it's like, to me, like Cody lost the politics game. He got to the point where he felt that Tony Khan looked at him as like the next guy to take over the company, so on and so forth. Like I felt the ego got too big for Tony Khan's liking. I felt Tony Khan was like, oh, but you ain't this big shot. I'm the big shot. I'm the one with the money. You a talent. You a performer. You better go out there and perform. And Cody Rhodes was like, well, what the heck? You talking to me like that? Without me, there's no diss. And
like,
so
we built you.
yeah, I felt there was a real, because like, come on, man. Tony Khan has no problem going out there talking shit about Big Swole like it's nothing. But you're telling me they're signing non-disclosure agreements and they're supposed to be friendly with each other? Nah, if you're signing an NDA, that's some serious shit right there. There was words said that cannot be taken back. And to me personally, man, I think Cody Rhodes, he was just like, screw it. I'm ambitious. Yeah. Let me go prove you wrong. Tony, you think this of me? Fine. I'm going to go to WWE. I want to prove you wrong, motherfucker. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah, he's going to be over there. He'll be over there. He'll be over there.
DeJohn Shangon says it's not his wife. There's some reason why people don't like Cody Rhodes. ... And then XWA says his wife ain't bad. She reminds me of Stephanie McMahon, who I never minded that much. I love Stephanie. I miss Stephanie. I wish Stephanie was on Raw.
Especially like in 01 when she, Anyway. Jagan, I see that. Roy Jones Prime versus Canelo. How would it go round by round?
I didn't see this.
Trust me. But we'll get to that.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we're not missing that. Well, we're saving that for the boxing because I'll give you the whole breakdown of that, how that would go. That there's a tale. We got to set the mood for that because I have to tantalize people's emotions when I mention Roy Jones Jr. So we'll get to that, my brother. Patience.
CPZ says, I believe it was sold to Cody that AEW was going to be something he had a big hand in, even more so other than the other EVPs. And after a year or so, that changed. Yeah, that's true.
I EVP. I thought you said EDP.
No. He wasn't going to go get some cupcakes, man.
Oh yeah, cupcakes for sale, baby. Cupcakes.
What was the Austin question? Okay, like here's the thing, guys. When I have a guest sometimes with the chat, it's one of those things where I will miss some questions. So keep in mind, like if I miss a question, nothing personal. It's one of those things. It's like
I'm going up. Hold on, let's see, Austin.
Why did Corey Graves hype up Austin theme saying 19 years since Austin got in the ring, but they literally are billing it as Austin going on the KO show, not a match? Well, Austin's building it up as a match, and I think Kevin Owens said he wants it. I think the match itself is just going to be called the KO show match. I think it's just going to be called the KO show match. Who knows?
Oh, maybe a cinematic match, huh?
Yeah, or Swerve. Yeah, Swerve of some sort. Are you getting a GTA 5 PlayStation 5 upgrade? No, I'm not getting that shit.
Are you? No. Oh my god, bruh. We had this on PS3, PS4, now PS5, and that bitch gonna be on PS6. Believe me when I tell you, we stuck with GTA 5 forever. 6 ain't never coming out.
I'll get GTA 5 when it's on sale. I ain't paying a full price for GTA 5 on PS5. Like, no, dude. Like,
wait a minute, what you play it for? Do you play the story or do you play online?
I play the story. That's it. That's all I play.
Okay. I'm about to say because the online is free for 3 months. You can download it.
I like honestly GTA Online. GTA RP really killed it, to be honest. Like that, like those dudes who made GTA RP, they really killed it with like the design and the world and what you can do. GTA Online wishes what GTA RP can be, but like GTA 5 story, I still enjoy playing it every once in a while. But it's not one of those things where it's like, look, they messed up with the GTA trilogy remaster with the bugs and everything like that.
Oh yeah, that shit is horrible.
Yeah, like they messed up with that. To me personally, when it comes to GTA, it's like I want 6 already. Just give me 6. I get it what they've done with Los Santos and stuff. Awesome. let's just get GTA 6, man. Like, and they call it expanded too.
I want GTA 4. That's what I want. Like, give me GTA 4 again. Because they just gonna, when they put out 6, like, we think it's bad on 5 with these microtransactions. I guarantee 6 is gonna have loot boxes online. You heard me.
Oh, dude. Well, they kind of do have loot boxes, don't they? With the certain, like, they'll get them on sale, like, oh, get this shark card or something like that. Like, I don't really play the online that much, but I thought they did kind of, like, not like for anything big. I mean,
not like loot boxes. Because loot boxes is more like, you feel me, like you paying for something and you don't know what you're gonna get, and it's a surprise, so you keep paying and paying and paying. Whereas you buy the shark card, so you know what you're gonna get. It's not really a loot box thing, but that's where I see them going in the future, because Rockstar just wants all our money. They want all our fucking money, and they don't want to put no games out. So they can go to hell. I'm done with Rockstar. Put out another Red Dead, give us GTA 4, and just go out of business. I'm done with them.
Yeah, that just shows you how they're just so money hungry, because like Red Dead Online, they weren't making money from it. They said, oh, we're not making money. Stop supporting it. They just stopped. Like GTA 4 was one of the best online experiences, and you didn't have to pay for anything. You like, I get it, like you didn't have like your own condo, your own cars, or anything like that. But nothing was more fun than just go.
Fun. Exactly.
Yeah, you just got into a random lobby. You started in that shipping yard with you and your friends, and you decided, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to fight some cops? Do you want to fight each other? Do you guys want to do a death match? Want to do some races? Like that's pretty much what it was, and it was fun, and we didn't have to pay money for it. But like GTA 5, like, you know, I won't lie, I had a lot of fun in races with my friends, but like other than that, it's like one of those things where it's like, yo, like I had to pay for everything. I had to pay for all this junk, and it wasn't fun at the end of the day.
Yeah, so did I back in 2013. I had a lot of fun back in 2013. It's 2022. Give us a new fucking game already. I hate Rockstar, man.
Does anybody actually know why Cody is gone yet? According to Fightful, he's just gone.
Well, you know, I would pull the according to Meltzer, but we know what that's worth, right? Okay.
Cody is a mid-card guy to upper mid-card guy for me. I think they'll get into the KO show and then have a match on night 2, which would be smart. I mean, WWE does have to sell out that stadium 2 nights in a row. And by the way, I'm seeing a lot of fans shitting at the ticket sales for WrestleMania. And I'm just appalled that we're shitting on a company still selling out 50,000, or not selling out, selling 50,000 or 60,000 for both the nights. Like, that's impressive. That I don't care what anyone says. Like 50,000, 60,000 back to back. Like,
yeah.
Look, I get,
and it's better anyway. 2 nights is better to me. Y'all want to be up till 1 a.m. watching, you know, Becky Lynch in the main event? I'm good on that.
But the thing is, though, Nate, I feel like if AEW was in that situation, let's say if AEW went to Vegas, right? Or actually, let's say Jacksonville, and they were only selling like 30,000 for like night 1 and 30,000 for night 2, people would goalpost it. And I'm like, bro, like, I get it. People are going to say, oh, well, it's WrestleMania. It's different than AEW. But what I'm trying to say is this. You're going to one of the biggest NFL stadiums in Dallas Cowboys Stadium that normally, when it hits a wrestling event, it's 100,000. Unless the Cowboys are in town and they're playing back-to-back games, there's no way no event would sell out like WWE would back-to-back. And I'm not saying sell out would even come close to what WWE is doing back-to-back nights, unless it was a Dallas Cowboys game. Like,
and since we mentioned him, I just got to say it one time. How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?
Say it one time.
Hey, they'll be back, man. The NFC East is looking very weak this year.
Oh, yeah, they'll be back. Yeah, they'll be back to the playoffs, and they'll lose and go home again. That's exactly what they'll do. Like they've been doing my whole fucking life, right?
Hey, man, it's better than It's better than the Chargers, where they either make the playoffs and break your heart, or they don't do anything.
Man, why we got it so bad?
I don't know, man. GTA 5 is the greatest finesse in history of video games.
Yep.
Stone Cold versus Roman Reigns next WrestleMania for the strap. Wouldn't be bad if you can't get Uncle Dwayne to sign the contract.
That.
Why
I
not?
like that. Hey,
you can't get not? Dwayne. Give Roman Reigns. Like, let's be real. The Rock is the bigger star now, but back in the day, Austin was the bigger star in wrestling, in the wrestling sense.
Because if we don't get DJ Or Mr. BSR, you know who we get next year. You could just read the writing on the wall, how they pushing Austin Theory. He's going to
No.
be in that spot. They pushing
I,
him to the moon.
I would hope it's Braun Breaker over Austin Theory. Or Carmelo Hayes, who I've gone on record.
There we go.
If Carmelo Hayes does not win a world title, or if he like doesn't do shit in WWE, I'm done watching WWE. Like, I'm not gonna even entertain it. I'll watch maybe I'll check out WrestleMania, but I ain't watching weekly. I ain't gonna talk about it anymore. Like, I can't, because like this guy, he is the A champion for a reason. He's great. I love that guy.
Salute to him. That's the dope dude.
What is Degenerate Sharingan saying?
It's
ridiculous.
Hey, this violence against my team. Why we gotta be so violent? Nah, the Cowboys are everything that's good for football. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because whether you love us or you hate us, not you, particularly, but most of the people, they tune in to watch. They can't get enough of the Cowboys, good or bad. It's good to have that. Good to have that escape. So we can't say that.
Probably not anytime soon, Ronan Ghost. I would like to, but probably not anytime soon. But if you do want to see WWE 2K22 streams, go watch my good friend JD Venom.
There you go.
Yeah, Carmelo Hayes is that guy. All right, Nate. I feel like we've answered a lot of questions, and we will still answer a lot of questions. But CPZ said it best. Let's talk about some boxing. Saul Canelo Alvarez decides to still stay with his bromance Eddie Hearn, and instead of going to PBC, maybe seeing Charlo and Benavidez, he signs a nice little contract to the Zone. 3-fight contract, okay. I believe the Zone's changing their model, so they're no longer like that cheap-ass model. We actually have to pay for a Canelo fight. He is moving up to go face Dimitri Bivol, who's undefeated.
Who's a good fighter. Very good fighter.
Which I don't know too much about. I know he's good, but I don't know if he's like how good he is compared to Canelo at this point. And then if Gennady Golovkin can beat whoever he's facing in Japan, then they're going to have a rematch in September. But if Triple G loses, who does Canelo fight? Like, that's my question, really, to be honest, because they're really banking. Like I'm sorry, I've watched some Triple G recently. Gennady Golovkin, it's just like, he's a legend. Don't get me wrong. Doesn't look the same dude, man. Doesn't have that same killer instinct that I remember him seeing. He kind of is feeling like Lomachenko-ish, where it's just kind of like he lost a step or something, where it's just like, I don't see him finishing whoever he's fighting in Japan. I think it's Ryoto something, but like I don't know who's fighting.
Not active enough. See, I'm not gonna so when it comes to Canelo, right? Like, I know everybody wants to see him versus Charlo. Everybody wants Canelo and Charlo. Everybody wants Canelo and Charlo. I'm not big on that fight. Charlo is easy work for Canelo. It is what it is. So is Benavidez. Benavidez is the easiest work because he just walks forward. He doesn't go left or right, nothing. Like, Canelo is going to pick him apart. His feet are too slow. He has no upper body movement. So I feel like Canelo going against Bivol is the harder guy to go against, and Bivol is a dog. Like, for people who aren't familiar with what he did, I don't know if people are familiar with Joe Smith Jr., how he knocked Bernard Hopkins' alien head ass out the ring. Go look at that fight, Bivol versus Joe Smith Jr. You'll see just the precision of his jab, the punch placement. Like, this guy is a very good fighter. So if Canelo's fighting this guy and he stops him, that's going to be a real impressive win. Like,
so this is more impressive than him facing Charlo. Like, it's just because Bivol's not a name. It's like Dimitri Bivol's not a big name compared to like Jamal Charlo, right? Is that the reason why a lot of casuals would be upset with this fight?
Yeah, because it's name recognition, because Charlo is a big name, and he's fighting for Al Heyman and the PBC. So you know how PBC is. They want to keep everything in-house. That's the reason why Tank is fighting fucking Rolly Romero, and he should be fighting guys like Ryan Garcia.
I was gonna ask you about that when we got to that division, because like I saw that Devin Haney wants to face Kambosos, so I was like, oh, that's cool. But who's Gervonta Davis gonna fight? And then I saw the guy, and I was like, I don't even know if this dude has a Wikipedia page that he's fighting.
Yeah, so Canelo's actually doing something really good fighting Bivol. However, the Triple G fight, I hate that fight, and I'll tell you why. Because Canelo's a guy who tells Charlo, Benavidez, and all these guys, Andrade, that y'all got to fight each other and I'll fight the winner. Y'all want a payday. You got to fight each other. Okay, cool, right? What has Triple G done since he lost to Canelo in a rematch? What has he done for all these years? He ain't done jack shit. How the fuck does he deserve a trilogy fight with Canelo Alvarez when these other guys have title belts and stuff that would be good for Canelo, but he wants to fight Triple G? That's a terrible fight. Like he should fight Bivol, and then he should try to go fight Better Bia. If that's what Canelo should do, I think he should stay at 175. Like, I think Canelo and Better Bia is like the best fight outside of Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, or my personal favorite that I wish we would have got, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder.
Oh yeah, we've been talking about Joshua and Wilder. I still think it's in the possibility. It just won't be as big, but I still think it's a possibility because Joshua still has to fight. God, who did he lose to again? Usyk. Yeah, Usyk. So
yeah. Alexander.
Who's Joshua's manager? This guy gets him automatic rematches like it's nothing. Like the dude loses.
And he's like automatic. That's the matchroom stuff. That's what Eddie Hearn does for your fighters, right? Do you notice that? You see, AJ always gets a rematch. Yet when the PBC fighter loses, like Andy Ruiz, where was his rematch?
Yeah, exactly.
Wake the fuck up and start giving them rematch clauses like Eddie Hearn does. Like, it's right there. What are you doing, Al? Wake up. You know? But you know,
yeah, because I was like, because I'm like, man, like. Because like I thought for sure Tyson Fury, his next fight was going to be against Usyk, and then this white guy comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, okay, well that's not bad, but like, where's this Usyk guy? And then I found out Usyk is tied to a mandatory rematch for Anthony Joshua. Yeah. I'm like, how many rematches is Anthony Joshua going to get?
And that Dylan White fight, look, guys, Dylan White is an exciting fighter, sort of, but he got knocked out by a 40-year-old Alexander Povetkin who got stopped by 3 guys prior. So Dillian White is not going to do anything to Tyson Fury. That's going to be a bad fight. It's going to have a little fireworks, but Fury's just going to walk him down and get him out of there. That's not a fight people should be anticipating. How do we think Ryan Garcia versus Tank goes round by round? Okay, well, it only goes 2 rounds because Tank knocks him out. And this is nothing against Ryan Garcia. It's just the way he fights. Like, if you go look at him, his chin is high in the air and his feet are slow. And Tank is coming, from under with uppercuts. Uppercuts is his best power punch. That's a recipe for disaster. That's why De La Hoya is on camera saying that Ryan Garcia is not ready for Tank Davis. His own promoter said that. He knows what it is, right?
And De La Hoya is a real he's real when it comes to that. Like, he knows what he's saying. He's like saying, look, like Ryan Garcia, like I'd be generous. I would think that, because like Floyd has made Tank a little bit more hesitant than I like. Like Tank has been fighting more smarter. So I feel like it might go a little bit further, like 6th or 7th round. And then once Tank's like, screw it, I can knock this guy out at any time. Like, you gotta get your money's worth, But like maybe Floyd told him, like, yo, the odds were like high of, Floyd likes to bet on the fights too. So
of course.
Could be very well with that. But to me personally, I feel like Gervonta Davis is just like, for being so little to have that type of power that he has, it's just like remarkable. Like Ryan Garcia is like, his hand speed's tremendous, but that doesn't matter with like what Nate says if he's standing up high in the air and you're just saying
his hands are always too low and his chin is like, he doesn't keep his chin tucked. And when Luke Campbell caught him with that overhand, that's what he's always open to. Like, his fast hands are great, but his feet don't move. Like, people got to understand why Lomachenko is a difficult fight for people. Like, I don't like Lomachenko, but I'm not going to sit up here and lie. Like, he's a real complicated fight for a lot of people. So Lomachenko with his angles and moving this way, moving that way. If Ryan Garcia did more of that, his chin wouldn't be open to getting him knocked the fuck out, So it's going to happen. Like, out of all those lightweights, other than Teofimo, because he moved up, like, if we're looking at Devin Haney, Tank Davis, like, Ryan Garcia is going to be the first one to have a devastating loss. Like, I'll put money on that.
That's another thing too, because like I feel like Ryan Garcia, like, he doesn't roll with the punches, as you said. Like, he just doesn't roll with the punches as well. Like, that's why he got caught. Like, that's why I'm like, man, dude, like, I've seen Tank being able to roll with the punches. I've seen Devin Haney roll with the punches and stuff. Like, I don't know if Ryan Garcia like could do that. I mean, hey, good for the guy. He has like a great YouTube following. Like, the guy like gets millions of views on his channel.
He's a great social media star, but boxing, man, you fighting. It ain't about all that. Like, he ain't beating no Tank. Like, Tank's a great fighter. Everybody want to talk about his power and And that's, cool. He got great power, but the fundamentals is there. Look at that Pitbull Cruz fight. He was turning him out of the corner. He was rolling with a lot of punches. He was setting up his jab. Like, the footwork is there. Like, Tank is a high IQ fighter. He has power in those hands, but he can box too.
And CPZ said this here in this comment. Like, I remember too, people thought Cruz beat Davis, but I think it's because Tank is such a big name. People expected Tank to dominate against a guy like Isaac Cruz. And the fact that he didn't dominate and he decided to like play a little bit safer, have a different strategy, a lot of people thought, oh, he lost the fight. And it was like, maybe in the later rounds he gave up some rounds,
He
but
was fighting with one hand too. He was fighting with one hand.
But at the end of the day, he won that fight. And it's like
hands
when I go back, it's like what I go back to. It's like sometimes when you're the lesser named guy or you're like a challenger for the belt, you have to go harder than the champion. The judges are always going to respect the bigger names and the champions more, and you have to do some significant damage. Not one point in that Tank Davis fight was I worried for Tank Davis, where I was like, oh,
no,
this is it. I was just more like, oh, like it wasn't the most impressive performance. Like, it wasn't like anything that I was like, oh man, I got to tell my friends to watch this fight. It was just like, okay, he had a okay performance. Like, what do you want him to do about it?
Different role too, because Tank is usually a smaller guy punching up. He was actually for once the taller guy, so it was a little bit of a different role for him. And Cruz is a tough fighter. Like, people who don't know Cruz thought he was just gonna walk through him, but like people who watch boxing knew, oh, Cruz is a tough fighter. He's game. Like, it's gonna be a one of those fights that it could go all the way or a knockout. But Tank was fighting off one hand, so with one hand, he still beat him. Like, come on, come on.
Anthony Joshua, the Greg Hardy of boxing, looks like $1 million, but it's the drizzling shit. I'll say this, yeah. Joshua has the most wonderful look of a box. Like, when JBO said about Randy Orton, if you build a superstar from the ground up, you get yourself Randy Orton. That's definitely Anthony Joshua. If you built like a boxer from the ground up and you wanted just a superstar look, it's Joshua, dude. Like, oh my god, like Dana White hates like a lot of like the boring boxers. He loves Joshua. He was like, oh, I love this guy. So if Uncle Dana likes you, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, I don't hate Joshua. I don't like that he ducked Deontay Wilder the way he did.
Oh no, I agree with you. The Bomb Squad should have touched that chin and be the one to beat him, not Anthony Ruiz. Come on.
Oh yeah, come on. If Ruiz did that to him, like, come on. If Usyk almost had him out in the 12th round and Usyk is a cruiserweight, come on now. What do y'all think Deontay Wilder does? All it takes is one. Yeah,
man, he showed it with the current heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, man. Like, almost should have probably won that second fight if the referee just counted faster. The slowest 7 count I ever seen in my life.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
2.
Like, fuck, man, he's out. Wave it off. Even in the first fight, why did he get waved off when he was down on the ground?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, the referee was like, I thought he was waving off because the fight was over. Deontay Wilder thought the fight was over too. He went up to the ropes. He was all pounding his chest and stuff. But freaking Fury was down, and then he got like an extra like 12 seconds in the first fight.
Why is that? Hey, I'll let y'all interpret why.
But yeah, no, like that was the slowest 7 count I've ever seen in my life. The second fight, I was like, yo, that's a 10 count if I've ever seen one. It's just like when people thought Dominic Reyes beat John Jones. I'm one of those people. I thought Dominic Reyes won that fight. What are your thoughts on Oscar De La Hoya as a boxer?
Very entertaining. One of my favorite De La Hoya fights was him and Fernando Vargas. I'm a big Fernando Vargas fan. I was rooting for him. Thing with De La Hoya though is, and he's a great fighter, he just made mistakes, like big mistakes in a lot of his biggest fights with like Shane Mosley, B-Hop. He just made some key mistakes, man. But he's an entertaining fighter. Like when De La Hoya was fighting, like you gonna watch him fight. Very entertaining fighter. His resume got built up the way a lot of boxers do. Like, he fought Hector Camacho and Camacho was past it. Because that's just how boxing is, right? You're going to build your resume on the star of yesteryear, right? But he won some great fights too. So De La Hoya, I like De La Hoya as a fighter.
Yeah, De La Hoya was like the first, like he was one of the first like boxers, especially like in the newer generation. Because nowadays, boxing, you take one loss, a lot of people write you off. They like say, "Oh, there you got that loss. He's not worth
Well,
a
that's what
damn anymore."
Floyd did, bro. That's what
Yeah,
Floyd did.
and the thing with De La Hoya, he was able to take some losses against like Shane Mosley, Bernard Hopkins, and still was like a big name draw. And it's because
Yeah.
he's always was entertaining fights. Like you can't really say like a bad De La Hoya fight. It's like, oh man, like especially when he got going and he got featured more on pay-per-views. It was like so fun to watch Oscar De La Hoya. Outside the cage, he's kind of a goof, but inside the cage, he was one of the most like fun fighters to watch.
I agree with that. Very fun, very electrifying.
Not in the cage, in the ring. I'm so used to watching MMA, but yeah, no, I was, but yeah, because like, and even like Manny Pacquiao fought De La Hoya when it was a little bit too late, and then Manny Pacquiao got built up, and we saw now that Manny
Oh,
Pacquiao
and
got
De
the
La Hoya
torch.
quit on the stool. That was so
Mhm.
sad to see.
I could not believe that too, because Oscar De La Hoya is not a quitter. That's the one thing that I never thought I would see is De La Hoya quit. Like I was like, because like I asked my dad too. I was like, Dad, I feel like De La Hoya is going to retire right now, and then he's like, No way, dude. De La Hoya doesn't retire, dude. De La Hoya is a fighter through and through, man. And then De La Hoya just quit on the stool, and I was like, What the heck? I was like, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, no, De La Hoya's a beast, man. That Mexican blood, like you can't get that out of most, like a lot of Hispanic fighters don't have that same blood like they used to, man. Like Chavez Jr. is a bum.
Trinidad, man. I love Tito.
Mm-hmm.
Tito Trinidad is one of my favorites of all time. Like we used to get such great fights back in the day. Boxing has just changed so much, but yeah, man. Juan Manuel Marquez, he was crazy.
Oh,
Eric Morales, Marcos Maidana.
Maidana was a beast, man. He got his Floyd money and he said, "I'm good."
Miguel Cotto, what man? There were some great fighters.
Miguel Ángel Cotto is one of the I would always go out of my way to watch a Miguel Ángel Cotto fight because like I knew it wouldn't be bad, except when Floyd outclassed him and stuff. That was the thing about
he
Floyd.
Put up a good fight though. He put up a great fight against Floyd.
That late, I always liked, like I know a lot of people like Floyd's early run, but I was a big fan of when he came back after WWE and he just had like that late run where he was fighting like Marquez, Mosley, like fighting guys where it's like, okay, we should have seen you fight these fools like a couple years back, but it was cool to see him at least go against them and stuff. And then when he fought some of the younger guys, that's when I kind of tuned after the Pacquiao fight. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of tuned out. I was like, okay,
yeah, because that Berto fight was terrible. But yeah, the Showtime Mayweather run was good. No, he had a good run on Showtime. It wasn't pretty boy Floyd, but it was a very he had some good fights, real good fights, like the Canelo fight. And I see Jagan King's question. We're gonna get to that because they intertwine with each other.
I gotta see what the question is. What do you say?
We have first of all, how does Linux? Oh wait a minute, before that, is the Caucasian boxer coming back? I don't know if they left because they've always Joe Cal. I mean, that's overseas. I know it's a little different, but Joe Calzaghe was here, right? Mm-hmm. So was a couple of others. The Paul brothers are really YouTubers, though. I don't know if I'm not gonna count them, especially not Logan Paul. Like Jake Paul, as much as I can hate on him, the motherfucker can punch.
Yeah, he can box. He can box. That's for sure.
Punch.
Yeah, he can definitely punch, especially if Tyron Woodley just stands there to take it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm not saying. I don't know if this is a controversial. That's a Caucasian question. Okay, no, it's not. It's not. It's just that a lot of the thing is, I'll say this as a white person, boxing is not really like a sport that's like very prevalent in a lot of Caucasian areas. Like you could be Caucasian and grow up near a boxing gym, but not a lot of Caucasian dads are saying, "Hey, we want you to box." Like if there's any combat sport us Caucasians get into, it's honestly like, well, nowadays it's jiu-jitsu, but wrestling. It's always high school wrestling. It's like wrestling's like the Caucasian sport where like a lot of us get into that and stuff because it's like, one, you don't have to get beat into the head and you don't have to learn how to punch and stuff. And yeah, it's more just like kind of like in a weird way, like how some of us were raised and like kind of grappling and shit like that. So yeah, I would say it's more of a wrestling theme for Caucasians, in my personal opinion, from my experience. Like, we just don't grow up in that kind of era where it's like, hey, let's fight like that. Like, notice how a lot of the white people that are like young studs, where do they go? They're mostly going to mixed martial arts. They're not going to boxing. Like,
Yeah.
now Jogging King wants to know about this one.
Hold on.
The Lennox Lewis one?
Yeah, the Lennox Lewis, because there's an interesting answer to that. So how does Lennox Lewis do in this current heavyweight division? Oh, man. As a kid, let me tell you, there was no one I hated more than Lennox Lewis. I absolutely despise Lennox Lewis because, he beat up Mike Tyson. Like, Mike Tyson was like a superhero. And he beat Holyfield, and he just kept winning. I'm like, oh my God, like, please, somebody stop it. Like, and I didn't like Bernard Hopkins either as a kid. Like, I hated these guys who just jab, hold, jab. Now, you grow up and understand the sweet science. It's like, oh, these guys are really good. Like, they understood the science of boxing. So, Lennox doesn't beat Riddick Bowe in his prime. I'm gonna say that, but that's not the question. How does he do today? These heavyweights now, like, because what is Lennox Lewis? He's like 6'3", right? 6'3", 6'2",
yeah,
something like that. And he was like, big for back then, but now these guys like Wilder 6'7". Fury's like
he's 6'5".
Like, these guys are real big today. He beats AJ. That's he beats AJ. He beats
Lennox
Ruiz.
Lewis had the skills. He has the jab. He has the skills. AJ doesn't have skills. AJ just uses his crazy ass athleticism to get by in boxing. That's what Anthony Joshua does. So when it comes down to it, Lennox Lewis will beat AJ. Fury's a big guy. Like, he's strong. Like, let's not forget Lennox Lewis's last fight struggled with Klitschko, and Klitschko's a big guy. So like, I feel like with Fury, who's a lot more skilled, and then Wladimir Klitschko, I think he lost to the lesser of the Klitschko brothers. I think the mayor of Ukraine. Shout out to Ukraine. But but like, that's the thing. Like, Lennox Lewis, like, even though, like, yes, he's a big name, and yes, he was beating all the legends. Let's be real. Mike Tyson, he's kind of getting the tail end of Iron Mike.
Oh, that was the tail end. That was 02. Like, Tyson, way past it. Holyfield was past it in 99. Like, Holyfield was never the same after that Bowe trilogy. Like, even though he beat Tyson, that wasn't Holyfield at his best. Like, if people want to see Holyfield at his best, look up Holyfield versus George Foreman. Look up Holyfield taking on Merciless Ray Mercer. That's Holyfield at his best, right? Not after the Bowe trilogy. So Lennox Lewis beat a lot of guys past it. However, that skill set is just crazy. So I think he'd be very good today. I don't know if he'd be the best, but he'd be in the mix.
No, he'd be one of the top boxers for sure. Like, he will have one of the belts for sure. He won't be Fury for the belt.
Probably have the WBO, of course.
Yeah, he would just have the WBO belt. Maybe be like he'd be fighting everyone but Wilder. But
of course, he wouldn't fight Wilder for sure. He wouldn't fight Wilder.
No, he would be literally like how we talked about. He'd be fighting all the boxers past our prime. So we'd be seeing like Lewis, and we'll be like, wait a minute, he's facing Klitschko? Klitschko's coming back to box? Oh, dude, Klitschko's going to win. And then Lewis would beat him, and you're like, who is this guy? How come he keeps winning?
Lewis would be fighting Luis Ortiz right now. He'd be fighting, Chris Areola.
Yeah, exactly. Just these guys were like Brazil, the guy that freaking
Dominic Brazil.
Yeah, he'd be fighting these guys, and you're like, oh,
Stavern, guys who were champions in like 08, 09.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what he would be doing. He would hold his WBO belt. Tyson Fury would be like, he doesn't want to fight me, and just talk about that the whole time.
He's a big dosser, doesn't want to fight me.
Yeah. And then AJ is getting his mandatory rematch against everyone. So yeah. Roy Jones Prime versus Canelo. How does it go round by round?
Okay. So I'm gonna paint you a picture, right, Jagan King? Where I'm pretty much
class? What's the weight class though? Where would Canelo fight?
It would be 168. It would be super middle. That's where it would be. Or it could be light heavy, which would be a bigger problem. So we saw how Floyd and Canelo went down, right? Any question, did Floyd beat him in every round, almost every round? No question, right?
Dude,
okay.
Now there was a point where Canelo was on the stool and he wanted to quit out of frustration, and his corner wouldn't let him. They're like, you can't quit out of frustration.
Floyd is a master That was Money Mayweather who did that to a young Canelo, but still a very capable Canelo. Now,
The thing was though, I remember people were like literally saying, "Oh, Canelo can beat Floyd because Floyd's so old." Like they were using Floyd's age against him, and that's why I hate when people go like, "Oh, Floyd was faced a young Canelo." Y'all were saying Floyd was too old and he would get knocked out by Canelo. Now we changing the script here?
well, like Roger Mayweather said, people don't know shit about boxing, right?
Yeah.
Now, I say that, I lay that table out there nicely to go get the plates now to put it on the table to say this. That was an old Mayweather who did that. Now, imagine if Floyd Mayweather was in his prime when he faced Canelo. Floyd Mayweather was in his prime 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. He was number 2 pound for pound in the world. There was a guy that was above Floyd Mayweather when they were both in their prime at the same time. There was nobody on planet Earth who ever went, who's better, Roy Jones or Floyd Mayweather? And they were both in their prime at the same time. Pretty boy Floyd and undisputed champion Roy Jones. What if I told you there was a guy who started his career at junior middleweight, put on over 60 pounds, went up to heavyweight to beat the guy who beat Evander Holyfield for the heavyweight championship, open up 3-1 favorite against Mike Tyson? You'd be like, oh my God, this sounds like the greatest fighter of all time you're describing. That's the betting odds on Roy after he beat John Ruiz. How that fight would go with Canelo and Roy Jones would be a massacre. You understand me? If Floyd Mayweather did what he did to Canelo, right? And Roy at his best was above where Floyd was at his best at that time, what would Roy do? See, Mayweather had the jab, right? He set the traps, check hook. What did Roy do? Everything Canelo doesn't want to see in a ring. He's going to get hit with punches that he's not going to see coming. And Roy's reflexes, like I've never seen anything like his reflexes.
Yeah,
like, he would be out of the way. Like, see, people would say Floyd was running, right? Did they say that about Roy? They never said Roy was running, not running.
No.
He would be out of there.
Roy was baiting. Roy was trying to make you come in, saying like, hey, I'm wide open. Hit me. I'm wide open.
That would be a nightmare for Canelo. It would be a nightmare. And, you know, it's a shame that a lot of kids now don't understand prime Roy Jones, what that was like, because they weren't there. Just like, you know, guys our age, we won't understand prime Mike Tyson because we weren't in the 80s, right? Obviously. Or prime Muhammad Ali or whoever. But that, like, bro, the dude played a game of professional basketball and then knocked somebody out in the same night. The dude put both hands behind his back and knocked somebody out with a single shot who's the world champion. Like, the shit Roy was doing, I never seen something like that. So Canelo would be stopped. Like, I put everything on that. Stop it.
Like, to me personally, it's like also the same thing when people go like, what about Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, and stuff like that. And it's like, bro, I didn't watch these guys, man. Roberto Duran, I didn't watch these guys like that. You know, it's like one of those things where it's like people need to understand, like, those four were so legendary, and like I watched their fights, but it's so hard to understand how good those guys were. And I'm pretty sure there was guys when we were talking about Roy Jones Jr., Tarver, all these boys that were coming up, everyone was all like, what about the Four Kings? And it's like, okay, cool. We didn't see the Four Kings fight. Like, what's your point? Bernard Hopkins better than these guys, you know? It's like, that's the thing. Like, boxing is one of those things. But yeah, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, we saw what Floyd did. And Canelo, the theme with Timmy, he falls in the trap. He gets too confident. He feels like he can outbox someone. And then later on, once someone gets him with a nice little exchange, Canelo plays to the crowd. He wants it. He's like, all right, let's go. Lapido, we're going to finish this. And it's like, no, Canelo, you ain't going to finish this. You're going to get your ass kicked in this situation against Roy Jones Jr.
Here's the question. Here's the question Jagan King should have asked, right? Because we'll go to a different level, and this isn't to belittle them. They're just not on the Roy level. people wouldn't pick Canelo to beat prime James Toney, who's one of the greatest fighters who ever did it. They wouldn't pick him to beat prime Bernard Hopkins either. Roy beat them in their prime. Like, there's levels to this. Canelo's not beating James Toney in his prime.
Oh,
Roy
no way. James lights out Tony, man, dude. I remember I was scared of that. I was scared of that guy, man. He was a beast back in the day. I still hate his UFC fight with Randy Couture. That pissed me off. Since you have since you have the Paul brothers and how Wilder versus Fury series ended, huh? I don't even know what he's asking there.
Since you have the Paul brothers and how, I don't know what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I was confused there. My entire family watched the De La Hoya fights. Man, dude, it was like
everybody did.
Like, and that's the thing I'll give Canelo is this. He's the only boxer today where, like, at least my friends or like at least I know family members and friends, they will care if he's fighting. Like, no offense to like Bud, no offense to Spence, no offense to even Tyson Fury, the heavyweight champion of the world. But I feel like it's Canelo and Deontay. Those two are like the two guys where it's like, if I say, hey, these guys are fighting, all right, people will watch. They'll care. Like Fury got up there, but I feel like after the second Wilder fight, he kind of was like third level. But I haven't heard anyone say Chase Fury versus White. How's that going?
Ain't nobody watching that shit.
No one's asking me about that. People are asking me, hey, does this Beeble guy have a chance against Canelo? Like, people care about that. So that's
I'm gonna tell you the names people care about. And if so number one, it's gonna be Canelo. Everybody cares about Canelo. In this country, it's Deontay Wilder. It's Tank Davis.
Yeah, Tank gets
Errol, the Truth Spence. And then around where I'm at, it's Shakur Stevenson. Those are the 5 names that people are. Shakur fighting this weekend. Tank fighting. Now, there's a couple of other guys like Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz is real nice. He's going to be there soon, But Tyson Fury, I've never heard anybody go, yo, you watching a Tyson Fury fight? People don't even know who that is. Like, Tyson Fury, what the fuck is that? Sound like what? What's a Tyson Fury? They don't know this guy.
Man, a lot of people are telling us right now apparently Dolph Ziggler won the NXT title. Good for Ziggs.
What?
Yeah,
good
he beat
for him.
Braun Breaker. Yeah, good for him.
They need to future endeavor that bozo. Oh my god! He won that. Why would they do that? Damn, former world champion is an NXT champ. Damn, how the mighty have fallen. Man.
Did you know Dolph Ziggler is the second former world champion to become an NXT champion?
Who else did it? Was it Finn? No.
Finn was Universal champion for like 2 minutes, but that still counts. And then he won the NXT title afterwards. So
why did they do this? Who's booking that? Is that Bruce Pritchard? Do you got
no
on again, brother?
This is the Heartbreak Kid. This is Shawn Michaels.
Oh, I guess he wasn't seeing things the right way, if you know what I'm saying.
I mean, hey man, he had to push himself somehow. This is in his reincarnated form with Dolph Ziggler. Man, people are laughing about that. Man, Dolph Ziggler, NXT champ. I thought NXT was for the young kids. Why is Dolph Ziggler winning the belt?
Please go somewhere. Go to the All Elite Friends. I'm sure you got friends over here. Go over there.
I don't think he has friends there. His brother works there, but I think that's it. I think Cody was his olive branch. I don't think he has friends there. And even then, Cody couldn't even get his friends signed. I mean, Zack Ryder showed up and he didn't even get a contract.
Now, maybe he don't got elite friends in high places.
No, I don't. Favorite weight classes for y'all in boxing?
Ooh, what's yours, Chase? Very interesting.
All time, it's like always like the lighter weights, so like junior lightweight to like super welterweight. Those are like my favorite like divisions of all time. Of course, heavyweight's like an easy answer. Like, you can't say no to heavyweights. But for me, growing up, that's where I saw Floyd. That's where I saw like Diego Corrales. That's where I saw Manny Pacquiao. That's where I saw all these guys. Like, I was like, oh my God, they started up when they were like 130, 140, and now like they were fighting out like 160 and stuff like that. So like those are like my favorite weight classes because, and also too, like I always find it cool when there's like a smaller guy that can just hit really hard, and I like the fights that are just like brawls, like Gotti versus Ward, like that's the fight.
That
Like
was a brawl. Yeah.
that's what I just remember. Like that's what I like. I tell people, they say, Chase, what's your first memory of boxing? I'm like, I'm sure it's a Roy Jr. fight. I'm sure it's this, that, but no, like literally, I can always remember where I was at when Gotti and Ward were like killing each other in the middle of that freaking ring, and and just round 7 between those two dudes. And so that's always my favorite divisions because like I get excited for that shit. You tell me Tank Davis versus Devin Haney's happening, I for whatever reason I'm thinking it's going to be like Gotti versus Ward, just these two guys going out there full speed with full power, just going at like, because heavyweights you're not going to see, like that's why I love Deontay Wilder. He is literally like Mike Tyson reincarnated, where it's like we see a guy that's like that size but so fucking fast. That's like, oh my god, like Tyson Fury doesn't get caught easily, man. Like Tyson Fury is like has such supreme head movement, and Deontay Wilder is so quick, he's able to like freaking catch him and knock him out. It's like, or knock him down, not knock him out.
No, knock him out. No, like, you had it right. You had
it. Knock him out. Yeah, I mean, longest 7 count I've ever seen. But that's what I like. I like seeing like guys like, and it's just boxing. And to me, it's always those divisions where the boxer evolves. Like Canelo started in the welterweight division, and it's like I remember that. And now you see him now, and you're like, wow. So I guess those are my favorite divisions. Like from that range, the super lightweight to like the super the second. I don't know. Boxing always has these weird.
Every 3 pounds, it's a new weight class.
Yeah. So like but super welterweight, and then whatever the lightweight division starts at, those are my favorite divisions.
Yeah, heavyweight is, you got friends coming over. Hey, we're going to see a knockout tonight. Hey, heavyweights. Mm-hmm. Everybody likes that, right? Everybody wants to see somebody get knocked out. So the heavyweights are always going to be at the top. But it comes down to 2 weight classes. So the weight class with the most skill is the welterweights. That's how it always is. Because a lot of the guys who start at 22 or 30, come up, from bantam and all that, they grow into that body and they have all that skill and hand speed from the lower class, right? So welterweight is usually the glamour division. For me, middleweights is always going to be a step ahead. I always love the middleweights. Just 4 kings, like just look at that, like that right there with the 4 kings, and a lot of those guys were junior middleweights and they come up. So by the time they're at 160, they still have all those skills from the earlier classes, but now they got more strength. And instead of boxing, they spend more time fighting, like the Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns rematch. They got older, so their reflexes slowed down. They got more weight on them now, so they're heavier. So instead of boxing, no, they're fighting now. And you get exciting fights.
Yeah, middleweight division is another good one, like the 160 range. If this was an MMA question, light heavyweight, 100%. If this was MMA, light heavyweight was like the king of the MMA for the longest time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. Who do y'all predict would win before Tommy pulled out?
Jake Paul. Yeah, Jake Paul is going to win.
Tommy Fury was so bad.
Go to BoxRec. Go to BoxRec, type in Tommy Fury and look at his record. And look at all the people he faced and then look at their record. That's how you can see, like, he's been against some tomato cans and still was losing. Like, Tommy Fury was going to sleep. Like, rock, goodbye, baby. He was out of there.
No, they're like, I always talk about this before Habib became a thing. I remember I wasn't on the Habib train because I looked at his, like, record, and he fought someone that was, like, 20 and 25. And I was like, he beat someone that like lost 25 times beforehand. He's had 45 pro fights, and by like the 10th loss, he was like, no, I should still go. Like, because Habib fought a lot of tomato cans before he came to the UFC. That undefeated record, like I tell people all the time, that undefeated record, like I'm more impressed with Kamaru Usman's streak than I ever am with Habib Nurmagomedov's streak, because Habib was fighting like the biggest jobbers you ever see.
He's fighting Abe Knuckleball Schwartz.
No, he was fighting. That's a jobber right there, but he was fighting. Like Dave. Yeah. Thoughts on esports boxing game?
Oh, it looks great. It's overdue. I've been waiting for like I'm still playing Fight Night. Like I still have to plug in the PS3 to play Fight Night because I want to play a boxing game. And like UFC 4, like they got some good boxing on there, but it's really a UFC game. It's not really, there's only gonna be so much boxing in a UFC game, right? We need a new boxing game, and Esports Boxing Club looks a lot of fun. They just need to drop it already. They getting like Rockstar, like we impatient. It's been since 2011. We need a new boxing game.
Especially
What dropped first, them or GTA 6? What you think?
Oh shit, dude. I feel GTA 6, man. Like they had to sign these people to I feel like esports boxing. I've been hearing this scene since 2018. I feel like the footage where they showed me Tyson Fury came out in 2019. I was like, I'm like, where's this game already? No, because like the thing with esports, I'm excited for it. But Nate, what's the best fight night to you? What's your favorite fight night game?
Wow, that's a hard question because I like them all besides round 4. That's the only one I don't care for.
Yeah,
I like the first one a lot. The second one's really good, but I feel like the most fun is probably Fight Night Champion, right? But I feel like the best game, like took the most skill to play, is round 3.
Yes,
like, round 3, that defense, the parrying, that game, like it took skill to play that game. It was really fun.
Round 3 was like that because so I used to be a bad sport in video games. Like if I was getting my ass kicked in Madden, I would turn it off and shit like that. Just as you're a kid. But round 3 was like the first game where I was able to like accept losing because I fought like Sugar Ray Leonard with my creative fighter, and Sugar Ray Leonard would just kick my ass. And this is the computer kicking my ass, and it was like so hard. And that's where I fell in love with it more. I was like, man, I love round 3. I love the training in round 3. Yep. I love the corner in round 3 because like you could be like nowadays it's like they don't even let you like fix your face up or anything like that. Like you're just like chilling and stuff. But like I felt round 3 is like I know people love champions. Champions is definitely fun. Like champions are some skill to it. But round 3, like you have to learn how to use that control stick. Like you couldn't just get by button mashing like
no, you can't. You can't. And then like y'all don't know hell until you in that corner trying to close that cut. You don't know how.
And especially when you and if you mess up a little bit as you're doing that, and you're like, man, dude, I gotta close up this cut. Maybe I can't. I gotta get the swelling down first. Then I'll close down the cut, and then I'll like maybe this round I'll just play defensive and stuff. Like it's hard. It's one of those things, man. Like nowadays, like because like with champions, man, like I can't tell you how many times when I play champions, especially when I got playing online, man, how many fuckers would just choose Isaac Frost and just fuck me up.
And they would sidestep you and throw straights. That was the cheese of that game. You sidestep and spam straights.
Yeah. Fucking Isaac Frost is still my favorite. Like he's one of my favorite video game like fake boxers of all time, dude. Like, oh, I use him in the UFC games and I just fuck shit up. I love Isaac Frost. He was such a dick too. He was like the perfect bad guy.
I was raging playing that shit. Like I would be doing everything right, and then he just catches you one time, and there goes your health. I'm like, man, fuck this.
Oh, why did RK Bro win the tag titles? Because Randy Orton has to be at WrestleMania. Come on, that has to happen.
Now Randy needs his payday, so him and his mans can grow their weed.
Man, Yagan King has to. This is what Yagan King does. You know this, Nate. He asks foolish questions sometimes, and I still love the guy. But he asks, how would a prime Marvin Hagler do against today's middleweights?
Oh, dude, Marvin Hagler is in my top 5 all time. You understand me, Marvin Hagler. If he was around today, he would be undisputed, undefeated. Nobody's beating Marvin Hagler. None of these middleweights. None of them. Anybody. Pick them. Who? Demetrius Andrade? Benavidez? Charlo? Canelo? Who? Which one? Point him to me and I'll laugh. Nobody beating Marvin Hagler.
Dude, it was sad last year when we lost him too. I was so sad. Like I rewatched all those fights with Sugar. Like, look, here's the thing. People need to understand. Sugar Ray Leonard was literally fucking untouchable. It was like one of those things where Sugar Ray Leonard was just one of those guys that like everyone had fits with. Marvin Hagler was one of the first guys to figure out what to do with Sugar Ray Leonard. And that pissed Sugar Ray Leonard off where he was like, wait, how's this guy figuring me out? Like besides Roberto Duran, no one else has like really figured me out like this. So that's what pissed him off.
Roberto Duran was a motherfucker, man. I tell you, Roberto Duran was around today. See, he won before people even got into the ring. The mind games, like that was a nightmare. He was a nightmare. Like, those guys were cut different back then, man.
Yeah, and look at it too, because like Sugar Ray Leonard never gave Hagler a rematch, and I always tell people when I rewatch that fight, I feel Hagler beat Sugar Ray Leonard.
No, Hagler absolutely beat Sugar Ray, but Sugar Ray was a master at knowing how to please the judges. Like he would, a guy I hate in Antonio Tarver for obvious reasons. Yeah, Tarver would do a lot of that bullshit where he wouldn't be doing anything for 2 minutes, but the last 30 seconds of a round, he wants to start throwing punches and then trying to win over the judges. Sugar Ray Leonard was the master of that. Like, he'll move around, throw a couple of jabs. Up, 30 seconds left. Now we're going to spam punches. And I love Sugar Ray, but that's what he was doing. So the judges took it as he was winning that regard against Hagler, and Hagler was trying to box him because Hagler's mistake he made in that fight was he wanted to prove that he can box better than Sugar Ray Leonard when he should have just fought his fight. And he still won to me. Now, did you know Sugar Ray offered Hagler a rematch in like 93?
No, he did?
Yeah. He offered him a match in 93, but by that time, Hagler had already moved to Italy and he wasn't entertaining that.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I like about Hagler. He was like, man, I ain't going to, like, I know I'm going to freaking lose this fight. Like, I'm not in the best shape. Like, because that's what Sugar Ray Leonard would do. He would be all like, all right, let me get you at your worst. Like especially with Duran, too. People forget Roberto Duran, like, was suffering through, like, crippling depression and stuff, and Sugar Ray Leonard was trying to get a rematch right off the rip. I was like, come on, man.
And he blew up. He blew up in weight. But, that's on him. The discipline. Now, the third fight, that was a favor. Because, yes. Sugar Ray, a lot of people don't even realize that third fight happened between Sugar Ray and Roberto Duran. That happened in like 1990 or 89. Like, it was late. That was a horrible fight. But they were looking out for each other. Like, the last of that era was the first match of that era. It's kind of poetic.
Mm-hmm. That's like one era I always tell people, just go back and watch it. Y'all would appreciate boxing, but Hagler would destroy poor little Canelo. Like you want to talk about? We're talking about Canelo ducking fucking Charlo. Can you imagine like like that's what I'm saying, man? If he's ducking Charlo, what the fuck is he gonna do with Marvin Hagler? Like,
and I don't know why Canelo's ducking Charlo, because Canelo can beat Charlo. I don't know why he's ducking him.
I think it's just
Charlo, like the little Charlo's the more skilled one than the bigger one.
Yeah. And the bigger one loves Canelo too. He'll probably lose on purpose.
Yeah, that's the thing. These guys respect Canelo too much.
Yagan says where he lives, people look forward to Canelo and Tank Davis.
Where he lives? We're in the same state, John King. What you talking about, Willis?
Anthony Joshua is a name people are interested in. I'm not sure in America though. Oh yeah, in Europe, yeah, I'm pretty.
Oh,
sure
he's huge over there. So not everybody knows who Anthony Joshua is over here, but over there, he's huge. AJ's a huge star. When I was speaking to stars earlier, I was only speaking, America. Yeah, because Anthony Joshua is a huge international superstar.
Yeah, no, because my friends, they won't know who Joshua is, but then I'll say, oh, if he wins, he fights Wilder, then they'll care, because they're like, oh, this guy has to win to fight Wilder? For sure, yeah, I'll go watch him, and stuff like that. I think it's an excuse to put the NXT title on Mania. No, NXT's not going to be at Mania. They're going to. Oh, maybe they could.
Maybe.
But they have a
they
takeover.
Got 2 nights now, right?
Yeah. No, well, the takeover is happening literally before night 1 at 11 a.m.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah. So, that's why I'm like, no way.
Damn, Dolph Ziggler's going to miss that WrestleMania payday. That's sad.
He's getting that payday. It's wrestling related, but do y'all think Hogan's last match should have been against Cena at SummerSlam?
I don't know a Hogan, because here's the thing, right? So let's say he has that match, right? I'm pretty sure he still goes to TNA eventually. And if Ric Flair's there, they still do a little program, right? So I don't know if he would have committed to the retirement, because nobody really retires. Like, Shawn Michaels came back, bro. This shit is rigged. I'm telling you.
Like to me personally, I felt like even if Cena beat Hogan, who does it benefit in that situation, especially at that time where Cena was being built up as like your big stud star, and at that time too, Cena, let's just be real, crowd was turning on Cena at that point. He was getting booed out the building. He was getting booed out the building. Like, he's supposed to be a babyface in his hometown, and fucking Edge is getting cheered louder than this guy. Like, it's like Like that, especially if we're talking about SummerSlam 06 in Boston, Hogan's getting cheered out of the wazoo. And if Rock and Triple H got frustrated at that, just imagine John Cena as he's like out there and he's trying to do his "you can't see me" and the fans are just booing the fuck out of him.
Yeah, especially in his hometown. That would be fucked up.
Yeah, that's even worse. Like Rock was getting mad at the Canadian fans. He was like, "What the hell is going on here in Toronto?" Thoughts on WWE games possibly going to EA?
Look, man, if people are mad at 2K and they don't like 2K, they are in a shitstorm for EA. EA is gonna. There won't be wrestling games anymore if that happens. Like WWE, if they're gonna leave 2K, they need to go to like NetherRealm, or they need to go to Ubisoft, or see if Square Enix can get into a wrestling game. Because look what they did for Spider-Man, something like that. You know what I'm saying? EA should be like, how the fuck you gonna leave one developer and go to the worst one? That is insane to me.
I said this. EA will definitely improve gameplay, but that's it. Everything else will be terrible. They'll have WWE Ultimate Team or Ultimate Faction.
It's with loot boxes for call parts.
you watch your Alexa Bliss. All right, you gotta pay $80 for that. Well, like, oh man, it's one of those things that I tell people. It's like people don't understand. 2K, yes, you may think it's bad, but EA is even worse, and EA is all going to improve. Like they can barely improve shit in their main franchise, Madden. That's like the only franchise they put out every year that's worth a damn. They can barely update that. Look at the UFC game, bro. Like Islam Makhachev just barely got into the freaking video game. Like they don't even have, they don't update that game live. And that game is like, and what, UFC 4 has been out for like 2 years now. Like they still haven't been able to update that game live. You're expecting them to update WWE, and then it's like, oh no, like EA would be like the worst because EA is all about money. They don't care. They're gonna look at it and say, oh, WWE, oh, WWE champions. People pay a shit ton of money. If you don't know, mobile games, Champions Supercard and stuff like that. People pay a shit ton of money because it's WWE. EA is just going to look at WWE sales and they're going to say, wow, you guys do great money in this. Let us take your idea. Let us use Ultimate Team, Ultimate Faction, whatever. Just make money. That's all they're going to fucking do with it. They're going to have a terrible ass career mode. They're not going to do superstar showcases. They're not going to put in time and dedication like that. They can, like I said, they can barely do it for Madden. They're not going to
have voices at all. Like it's going to be bad. And they don't have any of the animations. Like I found out that the problem with 20 was, so 19 was built on its own engine. They used some of 18's engine because Ukes left, and 2K and Visual Concepts worked a lot with 18, so they used some of that code to make 20. It was a nightmare. So they've had to go and get all of this code because Ukes left, right? This is years and years and years of getting stuff, and they're still missing new match types. So if they was to go to EA, it's going to take a long time for a game to come out, and it's going to be a bare bottom game. Like, it's going to take years for it to be decent. And when has EA shown us? Like, go look at NBA Live. Y'all remember how great that game used to be?
Oh, God.
Okay, back to the PS2 days. If they can't do that for a publisher that's going to pay way more money, what makes you think they're going to do anything for WWE? Last thing. The last EA wrestling game was WCW Backstage Assault. I rest my case.
Yeah, no, EA won't do anything, man. Won't do anything. Does CM Punk just shit on WWE fans during the post-match conference of Revolution? Somewhat, yeah, I guess.
Phil is an angry man.
I feel like he's not even satisfied with sex, dog. Like I feel like him and AJ he seems like you know, like him and AJ had sex, he'd be like, AJ was like, oh yeah, that was fun tonight, and he'll be like, it was all right, you know.
I wonder what Vince would think about it, or bastard.
Yeah, he's like thinking like, do you think Vince would have liked that performance? No, I tell people, man, you can't change the tiger stripes, man. You can put the tiger in a different cage, but you can't change those stripes. And the thing is with CM Punk is this. Right now, it's a honeymoon phase still, baby. It's still the honeymoon phase with him and Tony Khan. All it takes is one mistake. And if Cody Rhodes, who was an EVP higher up than CM Punk, if he made a mistake with that guy, he for sure going to make a mistake with CM Punk. Because who the fuck is CM Punk compared to Cody Rhodes? Let's just be real. So I tell people, I tell people, y'all can waste your time on a Tuesday afternoon debating CM Punk's ROH theme and how bitter he is and stuff. But you AEW fans that are defending him now, wasting your prime afternoon time instead of doing something productive with your life, you're defending a man who could give two shits about you. While you guys are doing that, just know you'll be the same motherfuckers when he burns you guys. When he burns y'all, you'll be the same fuckers pissed at him. He burned us once. He burned us once when he left in 2014. He will do it again. And it's not. Look, I'm happy that the guy has found a way to be happy again. Good for him. I'm not saying he shouldn't be happy, but what I am trying to tell you guys is you don't have to defend this guy because he doesn't give a fuck about you unless you're putting something in his wallet. That's it. That's CM Punk in a nutshell, man. I don't know how else to
Boom. You heard the man.
Tarver is a bum.
The biggest bum to ever live. Yes, sir. Give that man. I wish we could, like, you know how you pin the comment on Instagram? Wish we could pin that right there. Tarver's a bum. Yes, sir.
Isaac Barak, are y'all even interested in Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury? I ain't even interested in. I'm not even interested in Usman versus Canelo. Why the hell would I be interested in Ngannou versus Tyson Fury?
Payday.
Yeah, payday.
It's sad. Dana's not paying these guys, so they got to throw away their lives in boxing, man. Because you know what's going to happen to that dude. He's going to get knocked out by Tyson Fury, and it's going to be sad because the reason is going to be that Dana ain't paying these guys. But the reason is because of the infrastructure of his business. So, it's sad that they got to keep on looking to boxing, but, it is what it is.
See, the thing with Conor and Floyd, the reason why that worked was because Floyd Mayweather was an old man at that point, 50 years old. Conor McGregor was red hot, and he was just like, and whatever Conor said at that time, I'm going to become the double champion. It fucking happened. You're like, oh my God, this guy is literally just saying shit, and it happened. So people actually believed, hey, Conor McGregor could beat Floyd Mayweather, and it was one of those things with Conor's power. You felt, hey, anything could happen. That's how they built the fight up. Anything could happen. Like, this is no walk in the park for Floyd. But then once you saw that Floyd was letting Conor hit him, I couldn't
believe people. I'm like, okay. Do we understand that in MMA, they're basically punching in a bare knuckle, and that is a standing TKO? And in boxing, you're fighting in a 10-ounce glove, and they're knocking people out with that. Like, could people imagine if George Foreman punched somebody in an MMA glove? Like, boxing power is a little different than MMA power because of how they punch. Not saying they're stronger, but all you have is your hands, and all your power comes from your hips. You're not trying to block takedowns. Like, everything is about punching. So it's a different type of strength. It's a different type of punch. Conor's not used to punching in 10-ounce gloves. So I couldn't believe so many people were actually believing he's going to beat Floyd Mayweather in the boxing ring. Just like Floyd Mayweather wouldn't beat him in the octagon.
The left hand to get everyone every single time.
Just like Floyd wouldn't beat him in the octagon either. Wouldn't beat him in the octagon, obviously.
And I tell people all the time, like, the thing is with MMA fighters, they have bad habits, man. Their striking is not... Just because you're a good striker in mixed martial arts does not make you a good striker in boxing. Like, there's only one mixed martial artist that I ever gave a shot in boxing, and it's because he actually boxed, and his name was KJ Nunes. KJ Nunes was very... And
Anderson Silva could have made a
no, Anderson Silva's a different beast.
He's a different... He's a unicorn. He's one of a kind.
Like, oh my God, the fact that he did that to Chavez Jr. like was so...
I knew he would too. Chavez I remember, punch.
Yeah. And it was funny too, because like the people that, like, you could tell the people who watched Silva, they never watched a single fight of his career, because like, why does he have his hands down like that? Like, they were like freaking out.
Cause that boy Chavez, he's worse than Adrian Broner, a guy who I respect. Adrian Broner don't punch no more, and neither does Chavez. Chavez really don't punch. You could punch him 10 times and he'll jab you. Like,
we still need Broner versus Thurman, though. I don't care. Just give me the press conferences.
Oh, Keith Thurman will kill. Oh, the press conference. That'll be the best press conference of all time. Keith Thurman can fucking sell a fight, and you know what AB can do. So that would be crazy.
Thoughts on Shawn Michaels shitting on the bald guy from FTR? Did you hear this story, Nate?
No, I didn't hear that. What happened? What did the heartbreak kid do this time?
So do you know the FTR kids, right? The adults, yeah. So Dax Harwood went on the sessions with Renee Young I forgot which one he was in WWE, but he's the bald one with the porn stash. So
Okay.
he talked about on the sessions that he was dealing with like depression, mental health, and stuff like that, and that he went to Shawn Michaels and he talked about this. And so then Shawn Michaels afterwards, like they were backstage doing the DX thing, and like that's what set Dax Hardwood off. But it's like he's like, look, Shawn, we're all about legacy, me and my partner. We're not here for entertainment and stuff. And Shawn Michaels was like, he's like, this is really gonna kill me, bro. Like, we're just gonna job out to the NWO to DX and stuff. And then Shawn's like, no, I get it, yeah, but I'm here for you, whatever. And so I guess they were backstage waiting to go out, and I guess Shawn Michaels was with his boys and was just making fun of Dax Harwood for crying or something like that. And then that led to Dax Harwood, and that led to people hating on Shawn Michaels for making fun of mental health or something like that.
Oh,
Which,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, it was a messy situation. To me personally, like, look, the Revival, I'm just gonna say this, they come up as someone that would tell me, don't be in your feelings. The redneckiness, the everything about them, the tough guy act. So if they're gonna be in character, tell me don't get in my feelings. They need to act like that outside of the ring a little bit too. So I'll just say this: like, look, you don't want to meet your heroes. It's a sad truth sometimes. Sometimes you meet someone you look up to, and it's like, holy shit, they're like dicks. Like, I get it. Not everyone can be like Bret Hart. Not everyone can be like Stone Cold Steve Austin and very humble with their careers and very helpful to the young wrestlers. Because I've never heard a young wrestler talk shit about Steve Austin.
No,
even
never.
Brock Lesnar and Steve Austin left him high and dry when he was supposed to put over Lesnar. Lesnar goes, Steve didn't want to do business, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to do business either and stuff. So Lesnar, that's what he said on the Pat McAfee show. It was the greatest scene ever. Like, he was like, yeah, I don't blame him and stuff. So that's why I tell people, man, it's like, you don't want to meet your heroes. Not every hero is going to represent themselves in the best light. But to me personally, too, it's like the Revival guys, they can tell me like, hey, they did this and this. Maybe there's like instances that we don't know that you guys also made fun of mental health or some shit like that. Like that's the way I see it, man. Like that's all I say about that situation.
I agree.
Cena turning heel at ECW One Night Stand and 06 could have been big and make the most sense against Hogan. They weren't going to turn Cena heel.
They weren't fucking up them t-shirt sales, my boy. You know that.
Yeah,
Fruity Pebble t-shirts going fresh off the shelf.
He wasn't even wearing those Fruity Pebble shirts.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He was a Chain Gang, right?
Yeah, Chain Gang Marine camo shirts, man. What's your favorite wrestling game, Nate, of all time?
SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth.
That's a great one.
Yes, sir.
Mine's always Here Comes the Pain. It doesn't change. It's always Here Comes the Pain. Yeah, like people like, man, I love that season mode. But Shut Your Mouth season mode, what I like too is like they added some of the real storylines from WWE in there.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, right. Like when that NWO show, I'm like, oh shit.
What's CM Punk bearing Goldberg about? Is it because he said something about Bret Hart and how Bret Hart could have made money in Saudi Arabia or something like that, but because of injury. But why are we still blame Goldberg for this? I don't get it. Why are we still blaming Goldberg for this?
Anything, blame Russo. People think that match was Bret's last match. People don't realize Bret wrestled after that match too. Like a couple matches. He had like 3 matches after that. So Russo let him wrestle compromise. Blame Russo.
Yeah, dude. People, I swear, dude, it's a revisionist history, dude. Like they hear one shoot interview and they think they're geniuses or something like that. like, dude, Bret Hart literally was like having a stroke and he was thinking about Shawn Michaels. Like that was like the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I was like, dude, what's wrong with you, man? You dying and you're
more important, my brother.
No, he was like, oh, I lost my smile like Shawn Michaels. I was like, what's wrong with you? WWE games died after 2K14. I agree with that.
That's factual.
I'm still waiting for Burnout Paradise sequel. Fuck EA.
Fuck EA. I'm with you. I second that. I drink to that.
I'm still waiting for a Need for Speed 2005 Most Wanted, like freaking Redux. Like, where's that? That's the
fucking awesome.
That's the best Need for Speed. Oh my god! Like, why don't we have this game? Don't give me Most Wanted in a different paint. I want the same Most Wanted. I want Razor calling me every time I beat a Blacklist member, telling me how much I suck at racing. Like, I want that. I don't want no freaking like this like stupid like go to this destination to go get a car. Like, screw that. No, give me a story mode that's fun. CM Punk needs to hop in the rat room. Have you heard about this, Nate?
No, I haven't. Enlighten me, my brother.
Are you familiar with Control Your Narrative?
Oh,
CYN.
wait, I have. Yeah. They started that. Ain't that the worst fucking name you ever heard for a wrestling show? Control Your Narrative. Like,
I thought it was a
what's wrong with
faction.
you?
I was like, hey, I won't care about this faction, but that's a funny faction. I mean, they're doing like they're pretty much doing the Colby Covington shit, but in wrestling. Okay, that's fine. Cringy as it is, whatever works. Fine. Control your narrative. That's funny, but no, it's actually a federation. So they had their first show. It was a sold out crowd of 200 people, standing room only.
Wow.
Yeah, 200 people. We saw 200 interesting individuals decide to waste their Saturday night at Control Your Narrative. But they have this thing, Nate, called the Rant Room. So for $100, you can go to a janitor closet with EC3 and a professional wrestler. You can pay them $100 where the wrestler sits there and you just rant at them and they can't do anything. You just yell at them how much you hate them in person.
Wow. An hour, ain't that a bit of an overkill?
Yeah, for $100. Yeah, for a full hour, you get to hang out with EC3 and Austin Aries.
Could just yell like that for Austin Aries. So there's a reason to yell.
Yeah, he was only one person took up the Rant Room offer, surprisingly. So yeah, that's the Rant Room.
Man, I don't know how long that'll last.
Well, apparently it was such a success that Control Your Narrative is going to be around forever. I have not even tuned in to see what it was about. Like people were saying, where could I see this? Why are you asking where you can see this? You don't even check it out. Don't even Google it. Like I was just getting my Twitter feed and stuff like that. I just saw my Twitter feed and I was just like, what the heck is going on here, man? So yeah. No, I spoke back about CM Punk. I'm just telling you how it is. This is how it's going to be. Y'all defending him now, he's just going to break your heart. Like I don't understand. Like it's abusive relationship with CM Punk. Like he for whatever reason, Punk is like that ex. Like wrestling fans can't get what's it called? Can't get rid of. I love it when CM Punk burns smart marks. Nate needs to do a rant on Bale Batman. Are you not a Bale Batman
Lord
fan?
Jesus.
I'm not the biggest Bale Batman. I said Christian Bale is a good actor. He just wasn't a good Batman.
He's a shitty Batman. He's horrible. Oh my God, it's so bad. Like that Nolan trilogy is horrible. Oh, wait. Not the Dark Knight. That one is good. The other two, Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises. That shit is so bad. Like people be hating the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but they like that horse shit.
Oh, dude, Batman Begins. I fell asleep.
I got a good napping on that, boy. I tell you.
I never finished that movie full, man. I tell people all the time, I'll never finish Dark Knight Rises, like it's so bad. And like in the beginning, it's kind of bad, but then near the end, it's good. Like I like Tom Hardy in it, but
I did too. Like, I like Tom Hardy.
But like the overall thing about it, like I don't know, it didn't feel like a ending. It felt like there were supposed to be more movies afterwards. Like I was all like,
thank God there wasn't.
why are you guys introducing Raja Ghul? Raja Ghul, this guy never fucking dies. He comes back to life every 5 minutes. You're introducing like Talia Ghul now all of a sudden. Like your guys are introducing all these characters. It's like, and especially because like unfortunately, rest in peace to Heath Ledger. It's like, dog, like we didn't even get the tail end of the Joker thing. It's like like Batman just totally forgot that shit happened. It was like Dark Knight Rises happened. Like, oh, remember the Joker thing?
Born by it, molded by
it. I was born in the darkness.
Born in the darkness.
I am the darkness. Oh, okay. CM Punk should be Kara Punk from now. That'd be pretty funny, man.
There you go. Yeah, instead of PG Punk, just call him Karen Punk. See?
Yeah, he just complains the whole time.
I wish you could pin that comment. Well, there's a lot of comments here. I wish you could just pin him.
I think on YouTube you can pin them, but then it removes another comment. So that Dax Shawn incident wasn't really that bad. Well, if you listen to it, it sounds bad from the hardwood perspective, but I'm always like a guy where it's like, look, if you guys act tough, be tough, stop whining. Like your characters are supposed to be tough guys. Masvidal needs to beat up some tomato cans on a UFC fight night card. The problem with Masvidal is, the problem is that he won't be able to do fight night cards because his contract gets paid. Yeah, he gets pay-per-view points.
I heard the other day that he's the third highest paid UFC fighter of all time. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow. Ain't that some
Well,
shit?
yeah, active, yeah. Mhm.
They're active like a
Yeah, all time, I think GSP's one. No, Connor's one. GSP's two, and then it's like I want to say like Nate, and then Masvidal's like top five. But yeah,
That's
that's it.
crazy. Ain't that some
Yeah,
shit, huh?
but yeah, he's the third active highest paid fighter. Connor's one, Israel Adesanya is two, and Jorge Gamebred Masvidal's three. Usman's contract is up after he has one fight. He has two fights, so he has two fights left on his contract and stuff. And I'm pretty sure they'll re-up him really big if he fights that Chiamev character they want to push. And then
Oh, that's an interesting fight.
yeah, but he has to get through. He has to get through Gilbert Burns first. That Tom Zot gets through
Get
that.
Gilbert Burns out of here.
He's the diamond gatekeeper of the welterweight
He
division.
is.
Hey,
He's the Poirier of that.
he is Dustin Poirier right there, man. Like he's just there to like put over all the young talent. That's what he is, especially with Tom's up. But yeah, no, Usman will get paid. That I'll say that for easy. He'll definitely get paid, but will be higher than Masvidal. I don't know. Usman's been lucky that he's gotten I say this. Kamaru Usman should be thanking Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal for his pay increase.
Absolutely.
Because like Usman, he cannot sell me a block of ice if he tries. Like he's a great. I love him as a fighter,
but personality,
Oh, it's like
he's not the best talker.
Oh, he like I remember Amir said it best. Usman thinks he's cool. He's the coolest guy in the room, and I started laughing because it's like it's true. Usman does think like, and then it was like and the funny thing is Amir told me that, and then the day of there was like the embedded, and it was for like the first Covington fight. So I love those embedded, and it showed him. He put on a tank top and he put a jacket under. He goes, "Yeah, man, business cash." Going business cash today, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude!" I was like, "Man, Usman probably thinks he's the coolest guy." But he should be thanking the fact that Colby Covington just does weird things, and that Masvidal ruined his public image by just openly saying that he loves Donald Trump.
Yeah, ain't that some shit?
Game Brad. Honest thoughts on Daredevil and Punisher potentially getting more seasons on Disney Plus since the shows are on Disney Plus. Is Punisher good?
Sheer joy. Sheer joy. You know, I love Punisher. John Bernthal should be Punisher for life. And I love Daredevil. And if it continues the tone that it was on Netflix, it's going to be the greatest thing of all time, baby. Bring me more. Give me more Daredevil. Give me more Punisher.
I wasn't big on Punisher, but I really love Daredevil, especially like everything about Daredevil. I loved it so much, man. That's what I've been waiting for in a Daredevil show. So I love Daredevil.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any more hope for Thiago Santos? I feel like the Jones fight killed his career. Well, we'll see this Saturday. I hope there is. I think Thiago Santos, if fighters were just based off looks, Thiago Santos would be undefeated, bro. He looks like he's such a star, bro. Like he's built really good. Just has he has a fucking hammer on his chest. Like I'm like, bro, this guy's a beast. If I'm WWE, if Thiago Santos gets cut, I'm offering that fucker a contract. I'm sending the best Portuguese speaker to his house and saying, hey, tell Thiago Santos we'll pay him this. I'd sign him to WWE in a heartbeat. Train this ass. Oh man. You want to talk about making a superstar? There you go.
Yeah, no, I don't feel he's done.
Spider-Man No Way Home gave me a fan service to the max. Other Spider-Man and Daredevil coming in. I heard there's more scenes with Charlie Cox in the digital release, and more scenes with Toby, more scenes with Andrew Garfield. So I'm down for that, man. I'm so excited for just March 23rd can't come soon enough, man. This is as exciting as that when it came out in the theaters for me.
That's the greatest experience I've ever had at a movie theater, seeing No Way Home, ever.
I tell people all the time, man. I think the 3 Spider-Man scene is swinging to the final battle, like when they're like after they did the whole "I love you" theme too, and then they swing and they're all screaming, having a good time. That's better than when fucking Captain America got the stupid ass hammer and said "Avengers Assemble." Like I told people, man, that shit was epic, man. Three, just 3. Like people don't understand too, like. that's 3 different eras of Spider-Man, and whoever thought this would happen, man. This is like literally like getting Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and John Cena to wrestle a 6-man tag match against like some of the best ever, you know, like you got Toby Spider-Man, you got Andrew Spider-Man, and you got Tom Holland Spider-Man, and they all killed it, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, they did. That was an amazing movie. I can't wait to get it.
How many times did you see it in theater? I've seen it like 7, 8 times.
I went 3 times. 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it 7 times. One time I saw it like pretty lit up, and it was it was even better, man. I got booed for cheering Sandman. I was cheering my boy Sandman. I got stood up. I was like, "Yeah, Flint," and people booed me. And I was all like, "What?
Oh man, why are they doing it?"
Yeah, y'all cheering for Electro, Green Goblin, Lizard even got a cheer.
Craig Connors.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Sandman, man. And it comes up on the screen. Peter, what are you doing here? What's wrong with you all booing me? It wasn't like I was standing up and I was blocking the screen either. I was in the back row and I just got up and clapped for Sandman and people booed me. Ridiculous.
Shit, I would have got up and cheered if they had Rhino from the second Amazing Spider-Man movie. They would have really booed me. Like, get this fucking guy out of here.
Who's cheering for Rhino? What do you all agree with Jim Cornette on and disagree with him on?
Oh Lord Jesus. Boy. He says a lot of things. We'll be here all day if we do that. I agree with him on food. Yeah. I agree with Jim Cornette on food. Type in Jim Cornette on food. You'll get a very funny video of him and his host Brian Last going at it. Yeah. You know, I agree with Kenny Olivier.
His Kenny Omega, like that's still one of my favorite rants is when him and he's like talking about the Kenny Omega and Moxley match, and he's all like, these two just don't know how to have a wrestling match. John Moxley is so inept, he always needs to have some stupid carny shit. And I just lost it after that.
I agree with him on Joey Ryan when he was a thing.
Oh god, dude, I remember this is why sometimes, man, I'm like, man, dude, this is why like Vince is where he's at and why he won't listen to you guys. Like Joey Ryan, I never saw it. Everyone,
me neither. I'm like, yo, people are touching his, come on, like, what are we doing here?
Like, how's this entertainment to you guys? Like, y'all sitting here thinking this is entertainment? Like, bro, like, what's wrong with you, guys? Like what? Like, because like the thing is this with me. Like Austin Aries was also the same for me. I didn't get it. Like people were upset when Jeff Hardy beat Austin Aries at Bound for Glory 2012. Now these same people that were upset about that hate Austin Aries because he talks about the vac. And it's like, how do you guys not see that maybe someone's just a piece of shit and you just don't see it? Like EC3, I never got it. I was like, okay, yeah, it was cool in TNA, but when WWE, it was like,
oh, I'm about to say, I liked EC3 in TNA.
No, TNA was like perfect. He was like Dixie's kid, and then he was fine as TNA champion. But then it was just like when he was in WWE, I was just like, yeah, man, he kind of like I remember the NXT ladder match. The crowd didn't give a fuck about him, and then the match against the match against the Redacted Dream. I don't know how to say his name, but I ain't gonna say his name on this channel. He banned for life on this channel. Redacted. No one cared, and no one cared about him and Patrick Clark.
Patrick Clark. That's the Dream.
That's the Dream. That's Mr.
The underage Dream. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, dude. He that shit pissed me off because he was like, "Oh no, that was me talking in character." And at what point is the Dream asking? At what point is the Dream like, "Hey, little kid, do you want to see my what? What's wrong with you?"
That's your character.
That's it. Then who's the real person, right? Yeah. Oh man. Thoughts on John Jones doing his broke Corbin gimmick right now? What the fuck? John Jones is broke Corbin. He's like over
always
here.
Something with John Jones, boy. I tell you, it's always something with him.
His wife left him too.
Aw, ain't that so sad? Maybe you shouldn't be tweeting about DC all day and Izzy and worry about his own life, right?
John Jones does that weird shit where he always tweets and deletes shit, man. So you can't really get what he says, man. But people be on him sometimes, man.
Once you tweeted it's out there, you might as well just leave the shit up.
Yeah, exactly. Best moment for the MCU. Okay, yeah, no, yeah. Jogging King was just redirecting my point. Only other Spider-Man Daredevil got a pop in my theater. Yeah, you know, I don't want to relive that bad moment of Sand. I was cheering for the greatest guy ever, man. I loved him in dude, that scene where he becomes the Sandman in Spider-Man 3, I cry every time I see that scene. I'm not even fucking kidding y'all. When he becomes the scene, he's trying to grab his fucking locket, but he can't because he's fucking Sandman. Oh my god, I get emotional with that scene, man. Like I'm like, it's like when Rocky and Rocky 4's in the car and there's no easy way out starts playing, I start crying, bro. It doesn't matter. Happens every time, man. He's just like upset because Apollo just died. I'm like, oh man.
Spider-Man 3 is a little too hated on for my liking. It's a very fun movie. You can watch that anytime and have fun. People just gotta have fun sometimes.
I feel like also like what's it called? Amazing Spider-Man 2, like minus like the ending. I feel like that one kind of gets a little bit too much hate for certain stuff. Like I love the connection between Andrew Garfield and the Emma. I forgot her name. When your name's Emma in Hollywood, I get your shit mixed up. I don't give a fuck. It's like too much. But I love their connection. I think that's like the best part. I thought
that's the best relationship, and I love Zendaya, but no, that's the best relationship. Andrew and Emma,
yeah,
the best. And that Amazing Spider-Man 2 film. If people go back and watch that, right? That movie looks like I've never seen a Spider-Man movie that crisp, that clear. Like it is shot amazing.
The opening scene is so amazing. Well, after the parent shit, but the opening scene where he's diving and stuff, that's one of my favorite Spider-Man scenes. That's so little. It's like wow, like he's literally diving down and stuff like into the city.
Yep. I like that movie. I don't hate it. Like people, you know. People just get on the bandwagon, like, you know, people were just against Andrew, they're against Spider-Man 3. People just gotta have fun.
I'll say this: I don't think any of the minus the Jake Gyllenhaal Stinky movie. I don't think any of the Spider movies are bad. I think they're all good movies, minus Far From Home, because I don't understand how he gets tricked by fucking drones, bro. Like,
that's like my least favorite one as well. Far From Home.
I mean, they did Mysterio correctly. It's just how's my boy getting tricked by drones? Like Andrew Garfield is gonna have his spider sense, being like, hey, that's a drone and everything like that. Like Tobey Maguire is gonna figure that shit out like in 2 bit. Tom Holland over here is getting his ass kicked by a fake water monster. And how did that water monster do all that fake damage? I want to know.
Yeah.
That's what bugs me about Far From Home. Jake Gyllenhaal not only stinking up the set because he doesn't take showers, but he doesn't. He's an anti-shower, man. He hates showers, dude.
People hire him. Wow.
Yeah. And like minus that, I don't understand how in the beginning when that water monster showed up, they were doing all this damage to the buildings and stuff. I'm like, bro, like how?
It doesn't make any sense, you know?
Yeah, that all I asked for it to make sense, man. And that by far is my lead. Like I love like I said, I love the character work in that movie. Ned and that chick dating, that was funny. Zendaya and Tom Holland were great. Nothing against that. I'm talking about just as a Spider-Man movie. To me, that's like the worst one. I'm all like, man, how Spider-Man's so freaking stupid? Man,
I agree. I'm with you on that.
Even if someone says, "Oh well, he's in high school and Chase," you got this motherfucker in high school figured out how to make web fluid. You're going to tell me he can't figure out about drones? Get out of here with that, man.
And then especially not being in New York is a big thing too. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't care for that. Like this is Spider-Man's like he's supposed to be over here. Like he's not supposed to be across the pond. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. Mm-hmm. It's just the setting, the comic books, all that. Like details matter.
I'll pop big if Hugh Jackman Wolverine returns in Doctor Strange 2, man. I'm actually I wasn't excited for the Multiverse of Madness. I'm pretty excited for that. It's not because of the cameos. I think Sam Raimi's just going to remind us, man. He's just going to remind us who the fuck he is, man.
He has that y'all must have forgot performance coming.
No, Sam Raimi's amazing. One of my favorite Stephanie McMahon, one of the best Kurt Angle botches of all time. What's y'all's thoughts on MJF? He's good.
He's good. So
I don't
he
know what you want me to say.
tries hard. He tries a little too hard sometimes. Like, we get it, you're a heel, but he's good. He's good.
Yeah, no, he's good. Like he does his job. Like his best trait is that the fact people think he sucks in the ring when he's actually really good. He just holds back. Chase, do you remember when you said AJ and Shinsuke should have main evented Mania? How do you feel that? When did I say this take? Must have been a bad take. This is a terrible take if I did say it. Holy shit. I can't believe I said that take. Oh, it must have been like a video series I was doing. I think I remembering I said that this should main event Mania over Reigns and Lesnar, because I thought Reigns and Lesnar might kick off Mania. Keep in mind, I think I said that too. So Amazing Spider-Man is underrated. It's the same disrespect against. The first one's really good too.
I agree with you, my brother. You were preaching to the choir.
Thoughts on El Kukui going against President Chandler? I still don't know why UFC. Oh God, Tony Ferguson needs to retire. Speaking of fools,
when I saw him shaking when he was taking punches, I'm like, bro, this is going too far. Like, this is going Gerald McClellan too far. Like, when fighters, seriously, when they start blinking slow and they're shaking when taking punches, absorbing punches, that means they're suffering brain damage. Like, stop this guy from fighting. He's insane. With that said, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, Michael. My one friend, he was like, he knows I watch Bellator. He goes, Chase, do you like Michael Chandler, or is he like? Because like when someone comes from Bellator, I always like, man, he's a Bellator bum, and stuff like my friends would be like, oh, is he not good? I'm like, no, he's good for Bellator. He ain't good for the UFC. But with Michael Chandler, my friend's like, oh, is he a Bellator bum too? And I'm like, no, Michael Chandler's legit, dude. He's legit. I tell people, like, look, you'll never be bored watching Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler is a fun watch, and like no matter what. And honestly, I felt like he could have beat Justin Gaethje. I just felt Chandler just said, "Fuck it, I want to."
You don't like Gaethje, right?
No, I don't like Gaethje. I think Gaethje's good. I just don't like him. Like he's like overrated to me. But I mean, just a leg kicker, doesn't do shit. Got outpaced by the Diamond Gatekeeper. That should say something.
There you go.
If Diamond Gatekeeper's outpacing you, I'm just saying. If Diamond Gatekeeper's beating you up, I'm just saying, man. But no, I thought he could have won. I just think Chandler just wanted to show people, like, hey, like I'm a showman too and stuff. And I feel like he can actually get a title. Like, I don't feel like he's a long champion. I feel like he gets the title and then he loses his first title, then type of champion. So
exactly.
But that lightweight division, it's like even the Khabib's clone, Islam Makhachev. I feel like that guy
he's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, he's gonna be that guy where it's gonna be like
miss you.
We'll see the UFC commercials where Joe Rogan says who's gonna stop that guy, and it's gonna be like it's gonna be for Islam Makhachev. That guy's yeah, he's interesting. It's gonna be. I don't know who stops him, to be honest. One of those things where it's like, you just because you can stop his takedowns. Like, because the one thing about Islam is that he's a little bit better of a striker than Khabib. Khabib was never a good striker
until he caught Jagan's favorite fighter of all time.
Oh, dude, Jagan. We all know we know Jagan King. He was probably crying after that, man. He saw Conor go backwards and he just turned off the TV. He couldn't watch anymore.
Gotta change that lyric, Fat Joe. You disrespected my man Roy when you said even Roy Jones was forced to lean back. You mean even Conor was forced to lean back? Come on now. And Roy pulled up on you, Joe Crack. That's a true story.
Andrew and Emma dated in real life. Oh yeah, I knew that. I was just saying their chemistry was like one of the best. Like for on-screen, like actual dating chemistry. Like if you ever been in a like relationship that's goopy like that, like yeah, you know what it's like. People love Andrew Garfield now. People flip-floppy with their. I always like Garfield as Spider-Man. My team when people ask me, people say Chase, Spider-Man rankings go. I say Toby's the best Peter, Andrew's the best Spider-Man, Tom Holland's the best of whatever you want him to be. Like Andrew was always a good Spider-Man. It's just for me, he was not really like the best. He was too good looking. Like, how the fuck are you gonna tell me no one wanted to mess with this dude? Like he was,
the way Mark Webb took his character, he was because he wanted to dive into the orphan, and this is how an orphan would be acting, and he's just an angrier, edgier Peter Parker, and a lot of people weren't ready for that interpretation. So I could see why people would say that for Peter, but definitely like from the way he swings to the poses to the way he uses webs as a defense,
Trash
like
talking.
trash
It's
talking,
trash
he's the
talking.
best Spider-Man,
Like
bar none.
they used the perfect one for the trailer where like they showed the guy's like, oh no, God, it's my only weakness, and then he does like the webs real quick. Like that's Spider-Man to me. That's like
Yep.
okay, that's perfect. It's not it's like Tobey Maguire was just like like sounding miserable when he's like, hey Gobby, how's it going? He's like, come on, Toby, you could have done that, man. CPZ, why are you asking me about the Lex, man? I don't even watch his videos.
Damn, he's still a thing. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, he made a bunch of money on the super chats recently.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
People pay for
700.
anything, I guess.
700, baby.
That guy blocked me back in like 2011, and I ain't heard anything about him since then.
Right. I guess right now the funniest take for him is that he's like convinced that Cody things will work and stuff like that. And like anything like news that Cody could go to WWE, he starts to go like, wait a minute, stop. I don't want to hear it. And so he gets all upset about it. I don't know if he's playing a character or if he's being serious, but good on him, man. He's making money.
Probably working himself into a shoot, right?
Probably. Favorite rap era from y'all? My favorite rap era, like from me, is like 98 to like 2005. Like that's what I still listen to that stuff. Like this new age rap. I hate to be an old man,
shit.
but yeah.
I'm gonna have to say like 97 to like 07. Like 90, give me 97 to 07. I say that, and I know that there was a lot of like bullshit like Laffy Taffy and just a bunch of dumbass Soldier Boy dancing. I was in middle school and high
school. Soldier Boy dancing was legit. I like that.
No, it was cool, but as far as a music thing, because we grew up, we grew up with Big Pun and Tupac and like real rapping, and then we got a bunch of that going on. However, on the flip side, we had people like T.I., The Game. Like there was some real good music still coming out. So give me 97 to 07 as far as rap go, and I'm good. Although I do like stuff pretty much. I like a lot of stuff now, even stuff in the 2010s, but ain't nothing messing with that time when Big Pun dropping the album, when Big L dropping the album, T.I. dropping the album. Dre came back and did, 2001. You had Snoop come back. You had No Limit. Like shit was crazy out here in these streets. Mystical. What y'all know about Mystical? Like, I liked all that, like C Murder. I liked that ignorant ass music when I was a kid. Although I did like Shine and a lot of Mac 10, MC8. Yeah, rap was crazy back in the day. Shouts out to you, Khan. Thank you. Thank y'all for tuning in. He said amazing podcast. You're amazing. XWE's amazing.
We've been on, Nate, for like 2 hours. It hasn't felt like it, huh?
No, it don't feel like that at all.
Yeah, exactly, man. Chandler is one of the few Bellator homegrown guys. I used to be like the biggest, like Michael Chandler's going to be Benson Henderson. Everyone's like, oh no, that would never happen. And guess what? Benson Henderson came to Bellator and got his ass kicked. Boom. Favorite song from y'all when it comes to Nipsey Hussle? I'll be honest here, man. Like Nipsey came later for me, but I don't really have like a favorite Nipsey Hussle song. I don't listen to Nipsey like that. I'll leave it at that.
Check out Rose Clique. Check that song out. Hustle in the House. Check that out.
I've heard Hustle in the House. Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah. Everybody got up on him with Victory Lap, but I was on Nipsey back to the TMC days back in like 2010. Like that's my, like when it comes to me in high schools, I graduated in 2010, right? So my high school playlist was like 06 to like 2010. It was Nipsey Hussle, Wiz Khalifa, Chris Brown. I'll always love Chris Brown. He's a legend.
Dude, I know. People only know Breezy as like his hip hop stuff, but like Chris Brown can go when he needs to go, man.
They don't know that, excuse me, miss. They don't know that say goodbye. You know what I'm saying? He had slaps back in the day, like Wiz Khalifa, Max B, Nipsey Hussle. I was heavy into like Cameron and Jim Jones, and that was my high school music. You know what I'm saying? So Nipsey was that dude back then, and I knew he was gonna be something. And I really miss Nipsey a lot. He was great to me. Like that was the era of my high school days, the height of my high school days. Wiz Khalifa, Big Sean, way back when he was doing his mixtapes.
But that was good, Big Sean. And then Ye kind of fucked him over, but still. But yeah, I loved early Big Sean. But like, oh man, his first album was one of my favorite. Like his first mainstream album was one of my favorite albums. I had that in the
Money
car.
was nice back then. Like it was nice until they did that Bedrock song. Then it was like, oh God, I heard enough. Drake was nice back then. Like throwback Drake. Like that's some shit back then, man. But see, I see man's in the comments saying 93 to 02. See, I'm talking about MC8 and Ice Cube. That's 93 to like 02, you know, Spice One, a lot of that West Coast shit, you know. I love music, man. So you know, this we could have had a whole podcast.
For music, for me, it's like I'm a very variety type of person. Like if I like something, I'll be heavy into it. But for the most part, my memory when it comes to music is so bad and stuff. Like I feel like Linkin Park is the only band that I remember like everything about. Like about
Linkin
what
Park?
I was. Oh, I love that. One of my favorites of all time. Yes, like them, Disturbed, Five Finger Death Punch. Those three. I was a metal, so I always liked rap. I never hated rap or anything like that. I just preferred metal for a lot of certain things and stuff. And I guess too, like growing up watching wrestling, like mostly rock.
Songs.
Yeah,
just that shit. I grew up listening to everything, man. Everything from R&B to at my grandmother's house, they playing Motown. You know what I'm saying? The rap music to rock music. You know, we grew up with the Amanda Show and stuff like that. So I'm seeing pop music and. You know,
Amanda Bynes used to be I used to play down the street with Amanda Bynes. She used to be my neighbor. Back in the day. Yeah, I didn't even know she was on TV. Like and stuff like that. Her parents were so freaking weird, dude. Like they were like such weirdos and stuff, man. But like, yeah, she used to play like we would play like pickleball and then like play like kickball and stuff like that. And she would meet us at the end of our because like I lived on a cul-de-sac, so her house was like a little bit further. So like one time one of these kids like, oh, my friend Amanda's gonna play, but we have to be careful when we play with her because she has to do TV. I just looked at him. I was like, what do you mean TV? Okay, whatever. Yeah, I was like, what do you mean TV and stuff like that? So like, you know, and I'll say this from what I know of Amanda Bynes, and this is before Amanda Show was a thing. She was like still doing like All Dad and everything like that. So like you know, when you're back then when we were kids, Nate, we played outside. We didn't like worry about like what was going on with TV and everything like that. So we were just playing like kickball and stuff. And she was really cool and stuff. But yeah, I remember one time she was like, oh yeah, she's like, don't tell too many people, but I'm on this Nickelodeon. I heard Nickelodeon. I was like, you're on Nickelodeon? I couldn't believe it. I screamed that so loud and stuff. I'm like, yeah, Nickelodeon. And she's like, yeah, I'm on All That. And I was like, oh wow. And so then I saw it. And then like the first episode I saw, she had that the show where she's in the bed and stuff like that.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. She reading the notes and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, me and my brother were like, were looking at each other like, the heck, we playing with this girl? She on Nickelodeon. What's she doing here? Because we don't know that like you don't get paid until like you're 18. So we're like, why she live in our neighborhood like and stuff like that?
Keeping the money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she got screwed bad. Amanda Bynes got screwed bad because of her parents and stuff like that. But yeah, like once Amanda's show kicked off, she moved out of my neighborhood. Like I always remember. I tell my friends this story. I'm like, yeah, man. Like the last thing we played actually was soccer and stuff like that. And she was actually really good too. And so like afterwards, I remember always saying, hey, Amanda, will we see you tomorrow? And she's like, yeah, I'll come over and play with you guys tomorrow. All right, see you tomorrow. Never saw her ever again. Tomorrow never came. She never came.
Never came. That's a great fucking story right there.
Yeah. I tell people all the time. Amanda Bynes was my neighbor and stuff like that. And I also went to middle school with a girl who was on a couple episodes of That's So Raven too.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
there, but you're in Cali, so like all the
you'll get some celebrities. The craziest story is played football with Wayne Gretzky's kid, Trevor Gretzky.
Oh wow.
No, well against him, but my friends knew who he was, and so we went to his house one time, and it was a cool experience.
I would have put a good hit on him. So you like
he wasn't good.
Linkin Park, good. Like Nickelback and. Yeah, and My Chemical Romance and
My Chemical Romance, yes. Nickelback is kind of like I like some of their songs, but they're kind of goofy to me, man. Like I don't know what they're singing about. Yeah, like what's this song about? Like a lot of their lyrics make no sense to me. Like I listen to their lyrics and I'm like, what's this song really about? So
I'm big on lyrics. That's why when I
yeah,
like Tool, I was into Tool and still am. I like Tool.
Yeah,
Like
Tool
Metallica,
goes heavy too.
lyrics
I
have to
love
mean something. Like Guns N' Roses, prime Guns N' Roses, not
Mhm.
like the Chinese democracy, like not that. No, I'm talking prime Guns N' Roses. I'm talking bands like that, Nirvana. I like that kind of shit.
Mm.
A lot of
Nirvana,
bands.
yeah.
A lot of bands. Good music. If music is good, I'ma like it. Like I don't understand shit Bad Bunny be saying, but the beats sound good. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, oh yeah, baby. I don't understand what he's saying. The Booker T
The shit
song.
sounds good. I'm like, okay, hey.
Oh, I tell people all the time, I listen to Japanese J-pop music. I don't understand a lick these fuckers are saying, but man, they know how to make some good
It sounds
songs.
good, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm listening to some songs and I'm like, man, dude, I don't know how they, especially heavy metal. Oh, they kill it when it comes to heavy metal. Well, now they do like the mixture of like they speak English while they're doing the heavy metal song, which I
Oh, is
like
that
a lot
so?
too. Yeah, so it's nice. We need a video of Justin Gaethje and Kurt Angle talk. I don't need no CTE fucking video of Kurt.
It's
I
gotta be
hate.
Perk Angle. It's gotta be Perk Angle, respectfully.
Dude, Perk Angle's a goat, man.
Perk
Greatest
Angle is
wrestler,
the greatest human being who ever lived.
greatest wrestler I've ever seen, bro. Like this guy would just do moonsaults off the freaking steel cage, no sell it just to get up to do it.
With that mouthpiece like this motherfucker, he loopy. He loopy.
The black mouthpiece. Oh, what a goat, dog! I love TNA Perk Angle. It's so sad that's his funny nickname, but it fits him so well, man. That Perk Angle.
If y'all want to see Perk Angle, tune in to XW. You're gonna find Perk Angle there. I'm telling you. Oh, it's true.
Oh, it's damn true.
You'll see Casper Van Dien too. That show is full of stars. I'm telling you.
It's Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev, the new Khabib and Tony. Well, they haven't like booked it and then rebooked it and then booked it and rebooked it. So no, not really. Any of y'all watching Moon Knight? Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. I'm trying to find early links to that shit. Like matter of fact, if you get some early links, John King, DM me on Twitter. That
y'all King gets early links. You don't even share me this shit, man. It's a one-sided relationship. Then, man, he always tells me he always like asks me questions and never give me these early links. No, I think he. Wow, holy shit! My friend sent me a $10,000 Funko. Jesus. Hey Chase, Chase, what's your final verdict on AEW Revolution 2022? If you're asking for a number grade, it's 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, the best AEW pay-per-view you'll see. Really good matches, minus the women's matches. Like they're okay, they're there. Punk versus MJF was great. My personal favorite match of the night was actually Danielson versus Moxley, but the crowd didn't give a crap, so I guess it's not really that great of a match.
Match, really? Wow.
Yeah, I love that match. Those two were just saying, "Screw your indie style wrestling. We're gonna beat the shit out of each other." It could have cut time and stuff like that. Punk and MJF definitely was the match of the night for sure. But my personal favorite was Moxley and Danielson. Like that shit's up my alley. Like, yo, get that MMA style, get that real fight style, and like that's why I fell in love with like Samoa Joe and stuff like that in the independent. So like that's why. The Lex man blocked me because I defended something with Sting in 2012. What the fuck? That's weird,
that's
man.
What we do. Yeah, him and good old Spinnernet. There's a name for y'all from the past.
Brandon, our boy. Hey, he was ahead of his time, Nate. We can't deny that. That dude was ahead of his time.
He was. He everything is super chats now.
Everyone gets paid money now. They're making this money and stuff like that. 2000s and early 2010s are my favorite era of rap.
Man, yeah. 2000s, like there was a lot of good shit in the 2000s. Early 2010s, a lot of good shit. Yeah.
Can I review NXT Roadblock? Well, I didn't even watch it. I was on with Nate. You want me to review shit? You want me to review a show that I had no interest in watching?
Oh, now you gotta watch it. See, now that you put it like that, see, now you gotta watch it.
Yeah, I have no interest in watching Roadblock 2.0, the NXT 2.0
Exactly.
Roadblock. I'll watch Stand and Deliver at 11 in the morning when me and Ace are gonna tear up LA. We ain't even gonna watch them one night about WrestleMania night 2. We're not watching night 1. Night 2's for the boys. Night 1, y'all can enjoy your I love Charlotte Flair. You know, she's one of my favorites. I love Ronda Rousey. I love Becky. I love Bianca, but I've seen these matches before. I don't need to see them again. So I'm good, you know. I'll watch them later. Bianca's gonna win in 13 seconds, you know, like I don't need to see that. I love Bianca Belair. She's a mega star, dude. Her and Jade Cargill just need to wrestle once, man, and the whole world will explode.
They need to do something, and I'll leave that up to interpretation.
Oh, they need to Montez Ford. You and I, man. I feel like I'm being serious too. Montez Ford. Y'all think I'm joking, man? I got a right hand, baby. Conor McGregor has the left. I have the right. Chris Breezy's still doing his thing, but his songs are banned in your country. Jeez, that sucks.
Yeah, that does, man. That's my guy. Like I can listen to Chris Brown every day.
Joey Badass was big when I was in high school. Who the fuck is that guy? I don't even know.
Yeah, you gotta be over here. That's the New Jersey, New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm all like, what the heck, dude?
He got a little big, but he wasn't like a superstar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Kendrick was like that too for the longest time. Like I remember like old ass Kendrick when because he's a Cali kid, so like I remember like him like doing his stuff, and I was all like, man, dude, I hope one day he gets big. And then all of a sudden Kendrick became big, and I was like,
the game put him on his album, Red album. He put Kendrick on his album, and then he blew. Boom.
So give me reason to prove me wrong, to wash my memory dream. Let the floods cross the distance in your eye. Is this the Linkin Park song? So give me reason. I feel like you messed up the thing. I know it's a Transformer song. It's the Transformer Linkin Park songs. Oh, those were beautiful, man. Yeah, no, Amanda Bynes was my neighbor, dude. She was a cool person. I'll always defend her. Now she looks weird with the face tattoos, but Amanda Bynes, if you remember Amanda Bynes, if you remember Chase Oliver from Thousand Oaks, California, where you used to live, I got you. I'll always defend you. You were always nice to me. Because we didn't know she was on Nickelodeon until maybe the fourth time we hanged out with her and stuff. And then she's like, can I tell you guys something? And we're like, because she kept it secret and stuff like that. Because her friend says she was on TV, but then she's on commercials, and we're like, okay, well, anyone can be on commercials, in our head we're like, okay, whatever, that's nothing special. But then she said Nickelodeon, and I'm just thinking she like a Rugrat or something. I was gonna ask her how Tommy Pickles was doing and stuff.
That's your homegirl. You gotta hold it down.
I respect her. Favorite Smash Brothers games? Do you play Super Smash Brothers?
I did back in the day when it was on GameCube. I played that a lot. I used to whip my brother ass. I haven't played any of the recent games though, but I want to get back into it. I don't have a Switch. Like my sister got a Switch. I don't even have one. So I got to get back into Nintendo. I sold my soul. Sony owns my soul. So
wow, you and Amanda Bynes were neighbors? Well, she was in my neighborhood. I wouldn't say we were next door. She was a few doors. Funny enough, when she left, my one friend that I was close with in elementary school, she actually moved into Amanda Bynes' house, and I had to tell her, Amanda Bynes used to live there, and she's like, no way, and I'm like, yeah. So, I think she was born outside of Ventura County, but she did live here when she was filmed, because she couldn't so I guess she would drive out to Pasadena, and I guess Nickelodeon was a sweatshop, bro. They would film them 13 hours a day or something like that. These poor little kids, they didn't give a fuck about the labor laws back then. I met the New York's Giants player, Victor Cruz.
Oh, fuck that salsa dance. I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm never gonna Cruz. He used to do that dance too.
What happened? He just kind of fell off. He just had those few good years, and then he was just like, yeah,
salsa
man.
Dance his ass out the league. That's what he did.
Creed didn't deserve the disrespect Nickelback got. Creed was great. I love Creed. With my arms wide open. I love those songs, but they're very Christian, Creed. Yes, Amanda Bynes with SoCal. Yep. Nirvana in the new Batman. Yeah, they hit that pretty well when they put the Nirvana. I like that. I love Bad Bunny. I don't know why people hate Bad Bunny, man.
He should have won the Royal Rumble.
He should have. Yeah, dude. Can you imagine Bad Bunny's like, I don't want to wrestle for title at Mania. I want to do a concert, and our main event is a Bad Bunny concert. Who's complaining? These losers. But if you imagine you had a girl in Dallas, hey, I can get you to a Bad Bunny concert. You just have to sit through some professional wrestling matches. It's a win-win-win. I'm just saying. Favorite DCEU movies for y'all? Why do you say DC? Can't you just say DC? There's no DCEU. I was all like, man, dude, there is no freaking anything. Who's this Hook character?
Oh,
I don't know. This guy is like all over. Why nobody's saying anything in this chat? Blah blah blah. Who's Hook? Well, guess what, Hook? Goodbye. Sorry, kid.
You're blocked.
Idiot.
You're blocked.
Yeah, you're blocked. You're blocked. I need money to pay for my car. What did he say? He said something funny once. He's like,
broke down on the way from
no,
work.
he said something funny that I always used to say and stuff like that. It was something wrestling related and stuff. No, but I always remember where he talked about money and stuff like that. It was like that video was like the funniest video, man. And that caused him so much shit. He's like, I live in Indianapolis, and it's so hard to get anywhere without my car. So I need my car so I can keep going.
Man, oh man.
I think this show is too long, but the pay-per-view overall is good. That's talking about Revolution. I agree. They need to cut down on the time, man. The Batman, the best. I think it was up there. Perk Angle versus old Goat Danielson. Man, Danielson's a goat, man. But Perk Angle, man, like Danielson, the minute like Perk Angle bleeds, bro, that's when you're in trouble, man. Because Perk Angle is like going to be screaming in his face with the black mouthpiece and the black singlet looking like Frank Trigg. You over, man.
G Nation 23. Salute.
Yes, sir. Gary, that's my boy Gary. Yes, I'll pop big if the rumor comes true if John Bertino Punisher returns in Moon Knight.
Oh, I'll pass out. Give me that, please. Give me money. I want it now.
Oh, that's what he said. Give me money. Like he said, like I just want. But it was like, but I always remember that because someone took it out of context and they edited it in a video. But it's like because like he was ranting about y'all, like saying he's like I'm not just coming on here saying give me money. I'm asking you guys to help me.
Mr. Purple Zero.
I need help. Get money, okay? I'm just asking for your help. Can you react to Roman Reigns' entrance from WWE 2K22? I ain't trying to get no copyright strike, but I think it might look good. Like this guy wants me to get copyright strike. Ronan, you coming on Thursday, my man? So calm down. I haven't heard of Joey Badass since 2013. Oh,
yeah, it's been a long time. That pro era stuff. That's a long time ago.
Oh, Dan Bones. That was an account that I remember, dude. That guy used to come in my chat just fucking spamming like crazy, bro. Like here's the thing. I don't care if you come in the chat, if you're new to the channel, that's fine. But don't be spamming like crazy, man. Like that won't get you anywhere in this situation, man. So what's Thousand Oaks like? So it's a boring little town, I'll tell you that. No, it's actually it's cool. It's not Los Angeles and glitz and glamour like you think it is. It's a place to get away from LA. That's the best way I can explain. Y'all can ask Ace these questions. When Ace the Wrestling Nut is sitting right next to me, we'll do a Q&A and stuff like that. You can ask Ace the Wrestling Nut what he thinks about California when he's here because he's coming from Canada. So yeah. So
all the way from Canada.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to meet up at WrestleMania, and then plans fell through, as Dave Meltzer would say. And so he's coming here to California instead because he was like, man, I already booked the days off, so let's meet up in California. I'm like, bet. And I didn't think he was gonna do it, and then he's got the tickets, and I was like, oh shit, he's actually coming. So
he's gonna do it.
Yeah, he's gonna do it. So how hot can California get?
You could fry an egg on the ground, ain't that right?
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't know. We from over here, Jagan King, so I'd never been to California.
The hottest it's been for me. Keep in mind too, a lot of people need to understand some areas in California live close to the mountains. So when you live close to the mountains, it gets even hotter and stuff like that. Like, so the area I'm in, Moore Park, I'm above like elevation and stuff like that. So like it's a good training. Like a lot of people come here to train and stuff like that because of the elevation and stuff like that. Because we're right by a mountain and stuff like that. Like literally, if you look outside my house, there's a mountain. Like you'll just be like, "What the fuck? Why is there a mountain here?" And it's like I tell you guys, California is different than you think. So Thousand Oaks, it gets hot around like 92, 93 degrees, and because Thousand Oaks is close to a beach, so you get that beach air and that beach heat and stuff like that. So it's close to Malibu and stuff. Moore Park, oh man, once it reaches like 102 degrees, like it can get to that hot. It can get like hot at 102 degrees and stuff. But Simi Valley, so Simi Valley used to be like just like a random desert made to a city, and it get hot, like 103 degrees. So yeah, just depends. Just depends. Undertaker versus No Way Out 2006. Theory of the Dead Man. That song always is in my head because of that match. That was a great match there.
That match was fucking amazing. Like, that should have happened at Mania 22. You know what I'm saying? That should have been the match. Yeah, but instead they want to put Mark Henry in a casket. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a bad match.
Did you hear too that they were thinking about Mark Henry actually ending the streak?
That would have been worse than how it ended at 30.
Like, no offense to Mark Henry, but he was like, dude, Mark Henry literally just randomly came back on a SmackDown, beat up Dave Bautista, and I was like, all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, the fuck, he back? I forgot he was
in Mark Henry. That wasn't that Mark Henry.
That was just some regular Mark Henry. They gave him what's it called? They gave him a dope ass theme song though. Shout out, he got one of the best random theme songs WWE ever gave.
Oh, and 3-6 Mafia. Hey, when they performed that shit on SmackDown, that was litty. It's like, man, they got 3-6 Mafia on SmackDown. That was some shit.
Mm-hmm. That was the same SmackDown. I think he beat Rey Mysterio, and there was and the dirt sheets got tricked, and they thought Rey Mysterio lost the world title to Mark Henry. I'm like, come on, cuz. He ain't losing no world title, Mark Henry.
I bet Meltzer printed that too. Fucking.
Oh, he did. Yeah. You know, plans do change, Nate. Hope you understand that. He always like that's his like go-to, man. Like, plans change, Nate. All right, plans change. Better portrayal as character: Hugh Jackman Wolverine or RDJ as Iron Man?
Hugh Jackman, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I will say this: like RDJ, he pretty much changed everything what Iron Man was in the comics. Like let's be real, like Iron Man was not really like this snarky, funny, smart guy as you see in the MCU. He was like always kind of like serious and stuff like that. So like close to the chest, very political and stuff like that. RDJ gave Iron Man like this snarky character where people changed the way they rate for him. Hugh Jackman, that's how Wolverine was, and he represent like when I look at Hugh Jackman, I'm like, oh yeah, that dude's Wolverine. Like when I saw when Marvel first was announcing, and I was on IGN. This is the only way I got news back in the day was through IGN, and I heard Robert Downey Jr. was going to be Iron Man. I was like, no way, like this guy can't do it. But he changed the game a bit, so good for him. So let's see what else do we got outside of the Batman movies. Which DC movies did y'all enjoy? I like
Wonder Woman.
I was going to say Wonder Woman. The first
Aquaman.
one. Yeah, that's it.
I really liked Aquaman. Joker. Joker was phenomenal. I was actually very uncomfortable watching that Joker movie, and that's the point. You know, you're supposed to be. That's what they wanted.
Yeah, no, I told people I love that. People, I think Yagan King asked me if I love that movie, and I said, yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. Like, it has like a great talk about like social economics and everything like that. Like I love like just the social aspect and how it treats mental health and how you should look at it. It's like I think it's such a great movie when it comes to like just not even just like superhero movies. It's just like really good. Shazam's good too. It's like the first DC movie that actually understood like what we meant by not making it too dark. Like, hey, you can do dark DC shit, just like, you know, make it fun too. Like, don't make it always so super fucking serious, bro.
Yep.
So yeah. I heard that the Antelope Valley of northern LA County is ghetto and boring. Antelope Valley is not that ghetto, to be honest, man. I don't know what you all talking about. Now that ain't get. Now you talk Riverside, that's ghetto. Riverside's ghetto. Riverside.
Oh, it is. I got a homie out there. It is.
I think Riverside's ghetto as hell, but I
Hey.
go there to get. They have a great casino called Yamava. Ask your homie if he goes to Yamava in Santa Clarita. Oh man, Yamava gambling, and then I also go to Chumash, which is by Santa. Fucking, I always get that one mixed up north. I know Santa Monica, Santa Barbara, yeah, Santa Barbara. So yeah.
Ooh, Jordan King. That's a good question. I wonder what Chase will say.
Mortal Kombat.
What's your favorite games?
Oh god, the one that came out. What was the Xbox one? The Fire and Ice. Like I played the Xbox one on the original fucking Xbox, not the 360, but the original Xbox. They had like the Tomb and stuff like that. Like I played that one, and then Mortal Kombat 10. Those were like the two I played the most. But I forgot which Mortal Kombat that was on the Xbox. It was like 2005 it came out and stuff. I used to rent it from Blockbuster and I would
That
switch
must be
out like
Shaolin
this.
Monks.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mortal
Shaolin
Kombat.
Monks is on my list too. Shaolin
Yeah.
Monks is phenomenal.
Does Injustice count too as Mortal Kombat?
Yeah,
games?
I mean, they have some Mortal Kombat characters in there, right?
Yeah,
So,
the Imperial, yeah, and it's the same engine. So Injustice, yeah.
yeah, I say I'll take it back. Like with my uncle, when I used to go to my grandmother's house, and he had a Sega Genesis, and we used to play Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Look, man, that shit was amazing. The subway, like the brutalities and the fatalities with the train and the acid, like Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. I like Mortal Kombat 9 a whole lot. But Mortal Kombat's like my favorite fighting series, so I'm pretty biased. Like I pretty much like all the games minus 4, and like
I'm more of a Tekken guy. See, I like Tekken and NBC, Marvel vs. Capcom. Those are the ones
Marvel
that I
vs.
mostly.
Capcom is golden. So was King of Fighters when I was a kid.
Yeah, like I'm more of a Tekken guy. Virtual Fighter. I like playing Virtual Fighter 2.
Okay.
And stuff. So those are like the ones that I played. Like Mortal Kombat, I liked. It was just like Mortal Kombat was like it was like the one you had to really like learn your shit. Like when it came to like actual combos and stuff. And like a lot of people I played with, like they were big on the whole like not having an actual controller, but like the fucking button mapper shit and stuff like that. So like Mortal Kombat for me, I played it, but I wasn't like the biggest in it and stuff just because I love like Tekken more. I like the characters of Tekken and stuff.
Oh, I feel you. Yeah, Tekken's cool too. I like it all. Street Fighter, I like it all.
Oh, Street Fighter are sucking. I get my ass kicked. I tell people, man, like, yo, I suck at Street Fighter. Which match is least interesting at WrestleMania? Maccabee versus Austin Theory or Knoxville versus Zayn?
I mean, the Johnny Knoxville, I'm gonna be laughing at that shit. So I'm gonna say,
yeah, I like Sami Zayn right now. He's great. He's like he realized he doesn't have to be a guy to wrestle 30 minutes every night. He decided, oh shit, I can actually just be a character and still be a guy that can wrestle good matches. Wow, what a concept. Austin Theory I like too, but he also has some allegations. So
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, they're very weird.
They swept that shit under the rug. Seth Rollins said that he was taking care of some problems, and I don't know what Uncle Sethy did, but Uncle Sethy helped him out. Favorite seasons out of Marvel Netflix for y'all?
So, the season of Daredevil where Punisher came in, that's
season 3.
That season was crazy. Punisher, I like both. I like it all. It's funny. I like the first season of Luke Cage. I didn't watch Jessica Jones. I wasn't interested.
Yeah, Jessica Jones's first season is up there for me. That's one of my favorite seasons. The first season, that's it. The rest of the show is kind of
okay. Yeah, I wasn't really interested in that.
I tell people I actually did not mind the Defenders that much. Everyone hated it. I was like, yeah, it was fine for what I remember for being. So and stuff. It set up Daredevil, so I like that. Season 4 Daredevil was amazing. I like that. Yeah, Daredevil. I think all seasons of Daredevil is great. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So the Inland Empire is trash. It can be trashy. It depends on the area, though, dude. They've done a lot of renovation, man. They've done a lot of renovation. So, like, ever since the Rams came to town, like, Compton's not Compton anymore, bro. Like, people don't understand. Compton's much, like, people, I tell my coworker this all the time. Compton's not how you think Compton is, man. It's like there's certain codes you do in Compton, like you don't wear Nike Cortezes, you don't wear you don't wear red, you don't wear blue. And you got to make sure you're wearing a right hat. Don't be wearing no Boston. Don't be no New York Yankee type of shit. They don't play around with that type of shit. No blue flannels, no red, no solid pure red. Yeah, I don't give a crap. You don't wear that type of stuff. And certain chains and certain watches, not saying smart watches, I'm talking about Rolexes, certain stuff. You don't wear those on the streets. That's just it. I know this as a Caucasian male. So if I know this, everyone knows this, okay? So you just got to, that's the rule. And I'm not even near Compton, but I know this. So you got to be smart with what you wear and stuff like that. Oh, man, you wear some Nike Cortezes? Yeah. It's a piece, bro. They don't care. They see those on your
be
feet.
on the shirt. They're going to pack you up.
It don't matter what colors you're wearing that day. They see the good old black and white Cortezes, and they think you're a boy or informant or something. Favorite so bad it's a good movies. Like all those shitty scary movies, I guess. But
oh my god, I mean we're describing a lot of the Jason movies. Then if that's the question, favorite so bad that it's good, like Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh yeah,
Jason X. Like those movies are so bad, but I love watching them. It's like entertainment.
Like Hills Have Eyes. Hills Have Eyes is like terrible, but I love it. Like
ain't nothing wrong with a guilty pleasure. Shit.
Yeah, I love those crazy ass movies. Nate, you still sick of Curtis, aka 50 Cent? Oh man,
he always clout chase. I'm so tired of 50. Like I'm mad. You know, the 11-year-old me when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, I thought that was like the hardest album I ever heard in my life. And as you grow up and learn that he's really a clown, you feel me? Like Curtis can go that way. You know, I'll always like that album, but I was on the wrong side of history as a lot of people were because, you know, he was doing op behavior. But yeah, I'm still tired of him. Thank you very much for reminding me about that, Jagan.
He pretty much made a whole video game like about how it's like
oh no, that video game was crazy though. The first one, not that Blood and Sand one. Yeah, that first
game. Yeah. Favorite Tekken game. Tekken 7, which recently came out in 2015.
That's the one with Negan in it?
Yeah. And then Tekken, yeah, Negan was was he downloadable or was he like, yeah, I think it was a DLC because that's when Walking Dead was still hot and stuff like that. Do you still watch Walking Dead or no?
Yeah, I watch it still. Okay. They got me, man. I've been watching it for so long now that I just have to see how the shit's gonna end.
It's like pro wrestling, man. It's like it's hard to get out of it. You know, you want to get out of it, and it's
they
like
got me by the balls. I'm in. You know, and they announced some new shows. Maggie and Negan having a show now. Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Like, they every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Wait, so Maggie? So wait, is Daryl and the dog gonna have their own show now?
Oh no, Daryl and Carol's gonna have a show. Negan and Maggie's gonna have a show. They already got Fear the Walking Dead. Like, fuck, man, they can't. And Rick Grimes is supposed to have a movie.
So wait, what's Fear the Walking Dead? That's before everything, right?
I don't know. Well, see now because they had like a 6-year time jump and all that. So yeah, this would be before. But the first episode of Fear was actually like the very beginning of the zombie apocalypse. So yeah.
So it's I'll figure it out one day. I'll be lost. I'll be like, okay. Speaking of Lost, that's a great show that I remember back in the day. Lost. Thoughts on the rumor fight between Stipe Miocic versus Tai Tuivasa? Stipe still fights? I thought that guy was just waiting for title fights. I don't know if this guy was still fighting. What the fuck? This guy, I swear, he won the title, and all of a sudden, like, he don't do anything else. I like that fight for Stipe, to be honest. If you can't get John Jones, Tai Tuivasa, safe guy to fight. I mean, Tuivasa is dangerous. He can knock you out, but in terms of skill set, Stipe should beat that boy up easily.
Yeah, I agree.
Virtual fighters like chess, but the characters are so generic. Yeah, they don't even have like fun catchphrases or anything. They just like you have to like do all this crazy stuff just for the moves, man. Yeah, I watched the Batman movie Ronin Ghost. I liked it.
I'm going to see it tomorrow. I'm hyped. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I like Robert Pattinson. I thought he killed it, to be honest.
He was roommates with that goat Andrew Garfield.
He was also roommates with Charlie Cox. Yeah, that's crazy. What do you all prefer, Friday the 13th or Halloween?
Oh, come on, man. Halloween, for you to understand, Halloween is my favorite movie franchise of all time. Like, number one. Then it's like James Bond. You know what I'm saying? And then I got to think after that because I don't want to say something stupid. Like, yeah, I got to think after that. But Halloween is definitely my favorite, like, movie franchise of all time. So it's Halloween.
Yeah, no, Halloween for sure. Friday the 13th gets too crazy, man. Like Jason's doing all like we just talked about. Jason's doing all this weird ass shit. Halloween, at least, like, yeah, like they changed the timeline like 5 million times, but
Yeah,
at,
yeah,
at
they
least
did.
it's at least
The
I can
way
still watch them.
Yeah, the way I explain it, it's like this, right? So Halloween is a series, even though you have different arcs and stuff. There's a
Mm,
story going on there, and it's about
yeah.
the story where it's Jason, it's about the kills. And that's cool.
Mhm.
If you want to see a movie with some good kills and shit, watch Jason. I've watched them all. It's a good franchise, but you ain't gonna get the story, you ain't gonna get the characters. You probably won't even remember the characters' names other than Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah, sure. I was trying to think about our characters. I was
Yeah,
like,
you like literally think of
I was like, man, I think I knew all the characters for the Scream movies that more than
yeah.
the Friday the 13th characters.
They had
Yeah,
the kid in part 5 who was Dudley on Different Strokes. I don't even know what his name was in the movie. They
I
had
think I
Corey.
know.
Oh, wait, no, Corey Feldman. That was Tommy Jarvis. See what I'm saying? Like, you
Mhm.
can't think of no characters from
I
Jason.
think I know. I think I know more Saw characters than I know from Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
That they need to get more Saw shit in here, man.
See, when it
I
comes
don't
to
know.
Nightmare on Elm Street, you know Nancy right away. Like, you know those
Yeah.
characters.
Hmm.
Alice, but Jason, you just can't think of the characters' names for real.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't
It's
think
not
about that.
about
So no,
story. It's
that's a good
about the
point.
kills.
Favorite MCU movies for y'all? My favorite's always Winter Soldier, and then it's like No Way Home's there too. So No Way Home, Winter Soldier. That's it. You know this. Why are you asking this, John? You know this answer. You know,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
he does ask these questions where I'm like, wait, I've talked about this before.
Ooh, this is a hot take. Oh no, why is he about to do this to us?
The Godfather movies.
People about to hate me because I have a hot take for you.
Oh, are you a two guy?
Oh, it's even hotter than that. This is a scorching
Oh,
take. So the best Godfather movie is the first one, obviously.
yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
100%. Yeah, you
now
can't.
you ready? You're sitting down, so you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
The second best Godfather movie is The Godfather Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone.
Oh,
Now, that's the
yeah.
newest cut that was just released like last
Mm,
year. They
that is a
took
pretty hot
part
take.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie and it's an easier watch, right?
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
the
yeah.
third best would be The Godfather 2, and then the
Okay.
fourth best is the original Godfather Part 3.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
if Mario Puzo's Godfather Coda, Death of Michael Corleone never came out, I would have Godfather 2 as the second best movie. But that Mario
Mm.
Puzo's cut is just amazing. No
I gotta
disrespect to
rewatch that.
Godfather 2. Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's probably on demand. You watch it for like $3. Like you'll see. Like if you remember how the Godfather Part 3 was, and then you
Mhm.
watch that movie, it's night and day. You'll be like, oh, it should have went with this vision instead of the other one.
Oh, okay. That sounds actually interesting then.
Very interesting. And I see Khan has it the same way. XW. I don't know if he has it like part 3 as in Coda or like the original part 3.
Okay. So okay, so okay, gotcha. If you go with that makes more sense then. Yeah, because I was the belief it's Godfather 1, 2, 3. Like that's it. Like
Yeah, well,
that's how you rank
a
them.
lot of people have it. Godfather 2 is the best Godfather movie. A lot of
I
people
feel like
do have
without Godfather 1, there's no Godfather
Oh, I
2.
completely agree.
It's like when my friend goes, yeah, but Rocky 2 is better than Rocky 1. Yeah,
No, no.
But without Rocky 1, there's no Rocky 2. So
I
how
don't
do
even
you
have Rocky 2 high. Like that's probably my least favorite Rocky movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but yeah, Godfather 1, like that has Sonny Corleone. It has
Mhm.
Don Vito, it has all the like Clemenza, it has all the characters. Like part 2, they have Hyman Roth. Like it's just not the same. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? It's good, but it's not one.
Yeah, no, I tell people that, man. It's like you gotta watch at least, like I tell people you gotta watch at least Godfather once in your life. And even if you don't want to watch part 2 or 3, you gotta at least watch part 1, and that'll get you into 2 and 3 easily. All right, guys, I gotta work out soon. I still gotta work out tonight, man. But I'm gonna answer the last few questions, and then Nate and I are gonna sign up.
Jagar, look at that. Look at that. What the hell are
Huh?
you talking about? You see that Jagar King?
Yeah.
I want to have sex with Becky. My favorite.
Oh man, what is wrong with my friend? Golly.
You crazy, my guy.
Oh, I think he's making fun of the Lexman, man. I heard the Lexman's favorite women wrestler is Nyla Rose. Yagan likes
Oh,
Becky Lynch. I think who
oh,
are your favorite women's wrestlers? Oh, I guess he's serious. He does want to have sex with Becky B. Okay.
I'm not touching that Nyla Rose thing. I don't want heat anymore, Chase. I'm over that. I want to be the
under
good guy these
no,
days.
no, I understand the Nyla Rose thing. That's a hard topic to talk about sometimes, man. That is definitely it's one of those topics where it's like, hey, you can't what's it called? You can't really just you have to be in a certain place, certain mind frame to talk about Nyla
Yeah.
Rose and stuff, but like
Is
and
that
who you
Ty's burner? He would have Sarah J all over the place if it was.
oh dude, I'm Ty's burner. I don't even think Ty's a lot. I think I blocked Ty because he was. I'll be that serious. I think he was posting and I love Ty. I love Ty on Twitter, but I think on YouTube he was posting some weird shit on me, and I was like, nope, I gotta block you from the chat, my man. I think I'll double check because like he used to come in a lot.
Overrated Rocky. I agree. Yo, Rocky 5 is the most underrated Rocky. I know that sounds crazy, but the story, what they wanted to do with Rocky 5 was amazing. It was just a little bit of the execution, but the story was amazing.
I agree with that.
Rocky 5.
I agree with that. I think Rocky 5, it's just like it's just not traditional Rocky. It's not what you expected, and like with the kid and everything, like that was something that like, and then also there was no really like good last fight. He just fights the dude outside, and that's the fight. It's like, no, like we need it inside the ring. That's Rocky for me, but no, I feel like they're doing great stuff with all the Rocky movies and the Creed movies, and
Love Balboa, very good.
Yeah, I love Rocky Balboa, man.
Very.
I wish they had the cut where like it's not how hard you get hit, it's how hard you can get back up and stuff.
It's not about how hard you get, it's about how hard you can get hit and get back up. Life ain't fair. It ain't all sunshine, kid.
So in college, every single presentation, I would sneak that into my presentation, and people would either laugh because they're like, "Wait, did he just quote Rocky in his scene, or did he like? Oh wow!" Like one time, this one girl goes, "Where did you think of that line?" And I go, "What do you mean? The life gets hit and stuff like that. Like that was so inspirational." And I was like, "Have you never seen Rocky Balboa?" She looked at me, she's like, "What? That's from a movie? You didn't think?" I'm like, "Nah, dude, that was from Rocky Balboa." It's I may have missed my chance there, but it's okay. I found someone at the end, so it didn't matter. But yeah, no, it was one of those things where I was just like, "What the heck? Are you all didn't even know Rocky Balboa?" But favorite women's wrestler, obviously, it's Charlotte Flair. I think I've said that.
Out today. Favorite, out today. Jade Cargill. There we go.
Oh yeah, Jade's great too. Yeah. No, remembers that calls when I talked about bed. What the fuck, man? This guy is all over the place with Becky Lynch, dude. I think it's getting time for you, Yagan King. You need to go watch some Becky Lynch.
Yeah, so, you gotta grab the Jergens, my buddy.
He's gonna be Jurgen King after this one. XWC says favorite TNA pay-per-view of all time. Oh man,
very complicated to answer that question.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Very hard question.
I don't feel like TNA has like a great overall pay-per-view, but there's like a lot of pay-per-view matches that I love. Like,
Lockdown 2010 is a phenomenal show. Bound for Glory 07 is phenomenal. Like,
I think I was looking at that one, either Bound for Glory 07 or Destination X 2011, or like the two that pop in my head as like best TNA pay-per-view of all time.
I'm in the minority. I love Hardcore Justice 2010. I know
that was a good ECW reunion.
I thought that was better than One Night Stand 06, quite frankly.
Yeah, well, One Night Stand 06 was terrible. One Night Stand 05 was good. You can even make an argument that is up there with One Night Stand 05. I think they did good. I just hated
more ECW.
I just hated when they took Hardcore Justice and made it a pay-per-view every year and stuff like that. Like, I think that's what I hated more from it. It wasn't really the pay-per-view itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so no, yeah, Hardcore, I remember that. Yeah, because that was a good ECW reunion. What's my thoughts on the Creed movies? I love the Creed movies, man.
Love
Like,
them. Second one is way better, but of course I'm gonna say that because
mhm.
Rocky 4 is my favorite Rocky movie, and that went right back to that. So
See,
of course,
Nate's a man with class, dude. I don't know why these older people hate Rocky 4. I love Rocky 4, man. Like everyone thinks it's so unrealistic that American can come in and make Russia cheer for him. Fuck you, man. Right? I don't care. Fuck you. This is why Rocky's so great. He made these Russian people cheer for him and stuff, man. They're like, Rocky, Rocky. I love Rocky 4, man. Rocky 4 is such a great movie, man. I show
so
that to
entertaining.
dude. It has two of the best. It has two of the best collages, man.
Yep.
There's no easy way out and Hearts on Fire. How are you not like motivated after not like after I watch Hearts on Fire? I pause the movie and I work out myself because I'm so fucking motivated. I'm not even kidding you when I say that. I actually do that. I'll like. There's no easy way out. I always cry. And after Hearts on Fire, when he's on the top of the mountain, Drago, I'm like, fucking go, bro.
Don't
Like,
get me
Drago?
started on Apollo's entrance. Us being wrestling fans, that's the greatest shit of all time.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, Drago was like, oh man, dude. Yeah, dude. One of the but yeah, no, the Creed movies are great. You know, like Creed 1's good. I like the best fight to me, one of the best fights in the Rocky series. It's not even like a big ass fight either. It's him versus that rando at the small ass gym because there was that one take, but it was so good. I was like, man, that's one of the best fights in the Rocky series, man.
Yeah.
That was done in one take. Like Jesus, man, that was great. And Michael B. Jordan took some hits too. Like there's that video of him getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, dude, they did him dirty. Pretty Ricky. Well, what was his name? I forgot his name. That he was a good villain, though. He was a good villain. Is it weird we never got to see an Edge versus Punk program? That's weird. Yeah, we never did. Huh?
I didn't even notice that. Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, I thought they probably had something small at one point. Huh. Guess Punk didn't want to face a real backstage politician. Hardcore Justice has the gangsters on there. Yeah, exactly.
Jack, I'm a pop. That's the way it goes. Like
they paid because like the thing with WWE, they showed respect to like the ECW name, but they didn't represent what ECW was all about. And Hardcore Justice was like, hey, this is what ECW was all about. And the misconstruction of ECW is like one of the things that like this is like shit where like I wish wrestling fans could like learn to read or look up stuff or actually watch all the ECW. Like ECW wasn't just this hardcore carny fed. Like there was a lot of layers. So like yes, a lot of the main feuds that you'll probably remember, like yes, had like a lot of hardcore elements. But like people need to remember, like Tommy Dreamer and Raven. Like people need to understand that was like a crazy ass feud, man. It was like so smartly done by both those guys. Like Raven, like Tommy Dreamer never being able to beat Raven, and that was like the one thing that he always wanted to do. But it was so great because it was just like it made those matches so entertaining because you were like, man, when is Tommy Dreamer finally going to beat Raven? And every ECW match was different too. So a lot of people don't understand. Like Georgia Gray said, ECW had great, strong characters. Like y'all won't see that nowadays, man. But I don't know, man. What do people know?
Paul Lee was booking that shit. He was.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing his thing.
And Andre Ward did train Michael B. Jordan. Well, that is it. Speaking of training, I gotta get some training myself, man. It's already 9:32 and it's still early enough for a killer workout, baby.
Yes, sir.
Nate, thank you so much. You got to come back on again. We got to do
absolutely, man. Hey, for all y'all that have been tuning in, man, thank you, man, for being a part of this show, man. We've been having a ball tonight, just talking. We don't realize how long we've been on, but that's how it goes.
Honestly, like I think it was like probably like or 8:30 my time. I kind of looked and I was like, "What the hell? We've been on for 2 hours? I didn't even realize it was 2 hours." I literally was like 2:20. I didn't even realize it just went by so much. I have a at-home gym, so like at my house, like we converted my garage to a gym, so it's like a nice little like right now there's like too many boxes, but I'm gonna just mostly do my cardio, so row machine and everything like that. So
man,
gyms unfortunately here in California
showing love.
Oh yeah, dude, 100%.
Smash that like button for my man Chase on the way out of here. Yes, sir.
Nate, where could the great people find you? on
On
Twitter and
Twitter,
everywhere.
Young Mustafa with 2 A's. That name came from a general in the boxing community because he couldn't pronounce my name because he was drunk one night. You know, my YouTube, y'all must forgot. So he's like, y'all must, Young Mustafa, and I just ran with it. So that's my Twitter name.
That's
You
funny.
Definitely do want to come back on, man. We got a lot to always talk about, my brother.
Oh
Thank you
yeah.
for having me on today.
Hey,
Cheers.
maybe after WrestleMania, maybe after the next what's the next UFC? Like it's like I think right around WrestleMania too. Yeah, maybe after WrestleMania you hop on. You give your quick little thoughts about, well, not
Yeah,
quick little thoughts, but you know, you give your thoughts about the showcase of the Immortals and stuff.
absolutely.
Maybe
And we
we
have
get a
hella boxing coming up. I mean, come on now. We have Tank Davis and Rolly. We got
oh
yeah, we have so much stuff to talk about. Oh my god.
you'll be for sure, like you'll be for sure on after Tank Davis and Rolling, like
Mm-hmm.
and stuff,
Get a
for
mirror
sure.
up here. Yeah,
Oh, I
me.
was gonna say, yeah, Amir for after WrestleMania would be cool too. So
Absolutely. I'm down whenever.
all right, I'll definitely send you more messages because this was a blast, man. Like we were just literally like just chilling the whole fucking time and stuff like that. So, like I said, it did not even feel like 2 hours passed, man. Like I wasn't even like what the hell? Like I had to check on it. Oh shit, 2 hours, and then we went on for another great hour, and it was great. So thank you, Nate, for coming on. I appreciate you, man.
No
Thank you
problem.
guys for tuning in. You guys showed a lot of love and support, and let's keep this going. I'll see you guys Thursday for a Q&A with Ronan Ghost being the guest. Ask you guys this questions. It won't go 3 hours. It'll probably only go an hour because I do need to sometimes get better at my workout schedule. But thank you all so much. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your night.